Okay, so that brings us to session number 86 with our characters at Season 5, Episode 1, reaching level 10. And we have a few people on Discord at the moment, which I'm just remembering to transfer to say, yes, they're actually online today. So I will start off with Ariadne in person describing her character.
I play Thala, a elf, season fae druid, who is currently starting to explore her shape-changing abilities just a bit more. Just in time for this war we're coming up to. Might be handy to travel in disguise as different animals. So,
now, not only can you turn into a squid hat, you can turn into a squid that can carry people inside.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's carrying people inside or eating them though.
A bit of A, bit of B.
Yeah.
As long as you remember to spit them out at some point, it's not eating them.
Fair point. Gonna take that one.
Anything else you'd like to tell about Thala?
That's all I can think of for the moment. Not my best introduction.
It's okay. Then we shall move over to Ross and have Ross introduce his character. Assuming Ross is still there.
Yeah, I'm here. Just used to get into Discord pressing all the buttons and that.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm playing Yodri, the swashbuckling nanny of Pilfering, the green menace of wherever we are at the moment.
You are in Darakan City, having gained quite a few accolades for your investigations into the cults of the Northern Reaches. And finding out all the reasons of why they're there.
Yeah, accolades? I don't really like that idea.
Yeah, like getting more famous?
No, famous is not, that's fine, it's just underlings I'm not really interested in.
Hey, sometimes you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Depends on the underlings.
Yeah, and as well as with that the squid, people inside the squid, World of Warcraft got one where your mount is a jellyfish and everybody is inside the jellyfish and can hold 5 people.
I like this idea. I really need to become a jellyfish. Actually, I think I do have jellyfish. I just need to get giant jellyfish and go from there.
Yeah. So what was it? We had a year downtime, correct?
You've had technically a couple of years downtime to catch up to everyone else.
Because I was going to go and see my mother and my aunt.
Because it has been 10 years all up. This is your 10th year adventuring as characters.
I think we were level 7, and we've fast tracked up to 10.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I should go the Warlock of the Fathoms, or just continue on my Sorcerer stuff. I actually should have looked at my Sorcerer abilities and I'm going, that could have saved me multiple times.
Yeah.
That's always the way.
That is always the way.
Yeah,
Good
that's
reminder.
the reason why I wasn't doing that, because my aura, does that actually affect party members as well?
Your secret craft aura?
Yeah, my radiant aura.
Yeah, it can affect other party members as well.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why I wasn't using it.
I was gonna say, it's a good reminder to get to know your character's abilities and...
I found that I can basically go Super Saiyan, but everybody around me start taking damage, and I take, and then people have disadvantages attacking me.
It can happen.
Well, you've got to kind of have a way of balancing out those really big powers.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to work out, should I go the Sorcerer part, or should I just go the easier path, go Warlock so I can breathe underwater straight away, and then throw tentacles around.
Well, I guess look at it at what you'll make the most use of, and from the sounds of things, you would make more use of the Warlock, so that sounds like you kind of already have figured it out.
Well, I've got a little statue of the, Leviathan.
Well, seems like you've got quite a few things in mind then.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that brings us then to Sue.
Oh, sorry.
All good. So I didn't mean to hit you while you were eating. That's normally Josh's trick.
Okay, so I'm playing Mystara. She's a ranger, background soldier, and she was completely enamored with Camdu, but now it seems she is struggling because her hero, they have come out and banned anyone who was with her and anyone who reveres her, and she also was family, even though we were the poor cousins and had, were sort of passed out a bit anyway. But yeah, so I think she's got a lot to deal with now.
She does. She may redeem the name Camdu over time. Or make a name for herself.
Yeah.
Which, considering she's of the same, she actually achieved higher level than Camdu did, is saying that she is worthwhile of being a hero in her own right.
Yes.
So now seeing if we have a Josh and M. Seeing if they've made it back to the screen. They may not have. Okay, so until they make it back, we will give you an update of what's happening. So Sue and Ross are up to speed. You went to the Northern Reaches to learn about the cults. You decided to do a side quest to go off and investigate something else, then got distracted until you ended up in a battle with the Duke's men, killing them all while trying to break into his treasure chamber. As you do. And right after that, you ended that session with one of your members taking on the appearance of the captain of the Duke's Guard, just as a group of dwarves broke in to kill the Duke for declaring war upon them. And seeing you with the Duke's Guard, proceeded to attack you. In the middle of that brutal combat, Drazzle managed to turn back time for you, taking you back to the night before one of your members tried to do a practical joke that changed his religion and sex, and managed to convince him not to, so you decided to go and investigate the cults while he and Koroi went north to deal with the beer problem. during that time you managed to make friends with the 4 different elemental cults from the Northern Reaches. There was the Feathergale Knights, who are the Knights of Air and Darkness. You have the Rivergale.
Feathergale.
No, not Feathergale.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Now I completely lost what I was saying with that one.
Sorry.
That's okay. I have the book with the actual names in it, so I'm not trying to remember it. Okay, so the Riverguard Keep monks, who were water and darkness. The Scarlet Moon Hall druids, who were fire and darkness, and the Sacred Stone monks, who were earth and darkness. And they were all shock troopers for the Alphatian army, who had been convinced to immigrate to the Northern Reaches by a shadow dragon known as the Dark Lady.
Not to be confused with the Queen of Darkness.
But there's a good chance she serves the Queen of Darkness.
Yeah, but still.
So an elemental dragon that's taken up the cause to stop the war before it happened, and her taking these guys out of the Alphatian nation actually halted the assault by 5 years. But recently, Alphatia declared war on the nation of Galantry, which has instigated the fight between the Air Genasi and the Fire Genasi again, as the Air Genasi founded Alphatia and the Fire Genasi founded Galantry. The last time they fought, they destroyed their plane of existence, ripping it into shreds.
Wow.
Before immigrating to this world and this plane. So having them instigate a fight is not great. You've also heard that the Alphatians are doing a war of genocide and wanting to wipe out anyone who knows the name of the nation Galantry. Which means everyone you know, everyone you care about, has been signed up to be executed by the Alphatians just for that knowledge alone. Then on top of that, the Theatan Empire, who is the second biggest empire in the world, has declared war on Alphatia, because if they don't, they get wiped out anyway, as a cause of the war. The Haldanic Knights have done the same, declaring war on Alphatia. So there are 3 nations having declared war. None of them have declared war on each other. So it's almost a one-sided fight at this stage until hostilities occur. And while the war has been declared, no one has actually started combat. What you have heard on that from speaking with Redrian is the reason behind the war is the great god of fire, who Chauvel serves, has decreed that the god sponsor of Galantry, known as Rad, shall stop his research. It was do or die, as Rad didn't follow the same belief structure as Ixion, having been one of 2 immortals not to have been sponsored to godhood, having achieved it in his own right. He said no, not realizing that the other one would want to annihilate him just for standing up to him. And while the great god Ixion was going to wipe him out, the dinosaur god known as Ka the Preserver stepped between them, which is the trigger that started the entire war. Ixion did not have the power to take out another of the high level gods, but he did have the power to take out lower level ones. So the only way to wipe out the other god is to wipe out everyone who knows his existence, which is the war of genocide that's happening. And what you learnt from Redrian is that there is a device somewhere in Galantry that will end the war, one way or the other. But if any of you cross into Galantry, you have about 1 hour from crossing into that nation before the gods seek you out and stop you, because they don't want anyone interfering with their plans. And as there's 3 groups of gods in play right now, one of them wants to save Galantry, one of them wants to wipe out Galantry, and one of them's using the war as a way of achieving their own ends, which is why someone known as the Master has come from the deserts of Sind and invaded Darrakan. He has taken over the westernmost part of Darrakan, dropping a wild mile-wide tree on one of the cities of that region, and basically kicked out any of the other gods from that region. It has been stated that if he manages to reach Alfheim before the elves can migrate away, he will become a god and wipe out all elves in that instant. So that's basically the
Did you say he's going to wipe out all the elves?
yes, he becomes a god by wiping out all the elves.
Wow. Which one was this one, sir?
That's the person known as the Master.
So there's 3 paths, and 2 of them leads to genocide.
Yes, and your sponsor, Redrian, is basically saying that none of the 3 paths are good because 2 lead to genocide. The last one leads to the removal of magic from the world, and all magical races will die. So it's genocide, genocide, or genocide being the actual choices if you go by what the gods have stated. He thinks there's a 4th choice.
What, removal of all gods?
No, it's the gods should not dictate the direction of mortals. Mortals should have free will to choose their own fate.
Good point. It's going to be tough trying to tell that to a god.
And so that is currently what the Wrath of the Immortals is all about, because you've been able to discover that if you go into Galantry before its time, you know where to go, you won't survive the crossing. And Darrakan itself is key to survival of the world. If Darrakan falls to outside forces, then there's nothing that's going to save you. Prophecy basically has Darrakan being the one thing holding everyone together.
So we need to stay in Darrakan and protect it.
And you've all been asked to make friends, gather resources, and basically become the best that you can be. With that, Imni and Yodri both received awards of service to Darrakan and became a commander in the Darrakan army, meaning that the soldiers will listen to you if you need to tell them to do something instead of having to find someone of authority. You have the authority to tell them to move and to fight. You just have to justify it after the fact. But it does mean that no commander can Shanghai you into an army to fight for them.
Okay.
So you're free to move about and do what's necessary, not just fight a losing battle.
Okay, so we've skipped the draft and we're not being sent to Vietnam. Cool.
Very much so, because from the looks of things, there's going to be war on multiple fronts. What you've learnt about the cults is the 4 cults are among the scariest of the combat troops of Alphatia, so much so that the Alphatian army will not go through Norworld, through the Northern Reaches. They'll skip the Northern Reaches completely. They do not want to face their frontline troops. And some of you have managed to gain the support of them. So, having joined up with Thala, got the Earth monks on her side. Zal got the air knights on her side. Chauvel got the fire druids on her side. Drazzle got the water monks on his side, considering he is water dragonborn. Each of them had managed to do that, while Yodri, I believe, has managed to speak to a bunch of the gnomes and halflings, while Imni probably has the remainder of Camdu's followers and supporters who've also been exiled, happy to follow her in whichever capacity she chooses.
Cool, so I've got the halflings from the north.
You got halflings from the 5 Shires, not from the north.
I haven't gone to get there yet.
You haven't gone to get them yet. It's quite a way north to actually go to them.
Oh, okay.
So it's the equivalent of going from southern Spain to the top of Norway, when you've never travelled past France. But probably a lot further on the actual scale of the map.
Fair enough. Expedition time! Unfortunately, we've got a war in front of us.
And you don't think it's going to be a short war either, because if the Master manages to reach Alfheim, you lose a party member automatically. Because Thala is Elven.
Well, yes. That's why when you're like, wipe out all elves.
But the other thing is, I don't think that would end the war, just end one part of it, wouldn't it?
He becomes a god, and him becoming a god is such devastation wrought by it that it would stop the war just because of that aspect. There are elves on both sides of the war, and losing an entire populace of people would be enough to stop things.
Might be a bit bitter because it pulled a bit quick, so. But I didn't want to grind a third time.
Which is something you can't do much about. Though Thyla has reported that the elves of Alfheim are busily siphoning off the energy from their trees of life, which is the artifact that powers all the elven clans, to then move the essence of the trees elsewhere. Doing so will kill the nation of Alfheim as it is, because the entire nation is runs off the magic of those trees.
So what, it's just going to make a magical wasteland like the desert?
Quite possibly. No one really knows what's going to happen because they've never done this before. But the choice of annihilation or wasteland, they would rather go with a wasteland than annihilation if that's the only outcome they get.
Well, annihilation means there's an end, whereas a wasteland means you can work towards building that back into a home.
Just checking on seeing if we have a Joshua and M back yet. No, we do not. Okay, so I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Are you still planning to do a little bit of stuff with Ross?
Yeah, and Sue.
Yep. I just want to make my salad.
Yep, make your salad. Okay, so Ross, you've been given a chance to find out a choice of to learn where Pilfering came from, or where Pilfering's people are. What's of more interest to Yodri? Though you are on mute at the moment. He's currently on mute. I'll see what Sue would like to do with Imni's people. So Sue, you've got Imni's, you've got the followers of Kamdu who are now following Imni. What would Imni want to do with a group of people like that? I assume Sue is also busy at the moment.
Alright, I can come in. Just give me 2 secs, you can ask me a question.
Or has Ross managed to make it back?
Yeah, I'm back now.
Okay, so the question I gave you was, you had a choice of finding out where Pilfering came from,
Yep.
or where Pilfering's people has ended up.
Well, if I could work out where he came from, then I could actually then work out where his people have gone to.
Does that follow though?
So that would be the easier route than trying to work out where his people's gone to.
Does that follow though? Because he may have came from, like, he may have been lost anywhere, but that where he was lost doesn't necessarily indicate where his people are now. What if they've moved on?
Well, the thing is, I've got an idea of where he came from.
Well,
I just
if
need
you
to find the
already-
right mountain.
If you already have an idea of where he came from, would you not then be better off figuring out where to take him once you've got that?
Well, I need to start from where he came from, so that I can actually take him where to, because I don't know where he needs to go to.
Yeah, but isn't that the point of Martin's question is you can figure out where to take him where... You can either figure out where he came from or where his people are now, which would be where to take him to. Is that right, Martin?
That's a possibility. I've left it in a riddle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the problem is I've got a fairly good idea where his people are,
Right.
but I've got no idea how to get there because I believe they're not on this planet.
Yeah, yeah. So where he came from, your thought is perhaps maybe there might be means to take him to his people.
Yeah, basically I have to start from the beginning.
Yeah, because
And
if you think he's from outer space, well, there might be a spaceship where he
Oh.
originated from.
I know there is a ship. I've seen it.
Okay, all right. Well, that makes sense. I just wanted to give the question a little bit more probing because, as you know, Martin likes to confuse things.
Hey,
I mean that in a nice way.
if it's all straightforward, there's no real role playing in it.
Yeah, that's true as well. And ultimately, it's your decision, Ross.
Yeah.
I was just, I can't think of the word. Trying to figure out the riddle myself a little. Alrighty, we're going on an adventure.
Okay. So,
Yes, Pilfering to the Chosen One. He's going to bring balance to the Force.
does that mean he's going to hit one of the scales and just push it upwards?
Yeah.
While no one's
Probably.
looking?
Probably.
Look, it's balanced. Whereas I love the how balance was achieved. We wiped them out, all of them. Which one? Both. It's now balanced. Neither one's in charge.
Technically, that's true.
So, he does find out from various sources that there is a mountain range in Rockholm where no one really goes. but it's got a reputation for having lots of strange creatures. And also known to have Sasquatches in there.
Has he big feet?
Yep.
That sounds pretty cool. Scary, but cool.
Which is quite amusing because it's not far from Gerard, which was where Calcrix was found.
Oh, okay, so that's where she comes from.
Yep.
Does that mean we're heading to Rockholm?
The question then is are you ready to head off into Rockholm and start digging through the mountains?
I am.
Dig a hole, dig a hole. Who's the one who's got the affiliate to Earth?
That would be Thala.
It's not Zal.
Zal has gone with air.
Oh, okay. Am I at Earth at the moment?
Well, you've sided with the
Oh,
Earth people.
yeah.
You got the bunch
Yep.
of Earth monks working with you.
Yeah, I do. Okay. Does that, are you needing something particular from me?
I thought it would be. So I have to start digging. Okay, I thought more like I have to do start mountaineering and trying to work out where that's.
Well, I thought we were heading.
Some navigation in it.
We've got to head to Rockholm first, right?
You will. And does Yodri have a gnome or a halfling as his valet?
How is that? How?
It's a question. I'm asking Ross something.
Yeah.
Does he have a gnome or a halfling as his valet?
Okay,
Person.
so if I have a gnome, are they invisible to dwarves due to the fact that they do not recognise them as gnomes or dwarves?
They'll most likely call them goblins or other things like that.
Gnomes
Yeah.
would probably be very handy, wouldn't they?
They could be.
Yeah. The only problem going with the halfling, I could hear them bloody whinging the fact that they're not near the sea and all that crap.
Yeah.
Not all of them are seaborn. Some of them love
Yeah.
the hills, some of them love the forests, some of them love the mountains.
Well, some of them love the mountains, but the gnomes might. Didn't Pilfering come from gnomes?
Yeah.
The gnomes had him for a while, yes.
Would that be handy then to have a gnome? Or do you get more benefit out of a halfling?
I'll probably get more benefit from a gnome because he probably also can go through my damn contract.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Is that the one where you got given your sentence for crashing the ship?
Yeah.
Okay, so your gnome valet, male or female?
I'll go for female.
And are they encouraging or disparaging towards you?
They love you.
I'll go for encouraging. But they're actually happy that they're out of what was it? What's the damn gnome place? Capital again?
I believe it would be Ethengar is the official name for it because they're on Point Everast at the very top of the mountain. Whereas the dwarves call their surface Ethengar, the gnomes would probably call their city above it, Upper Dengar, just to annoy them.
Would that be actually Upper Engar?
Theoretically it could, but if they use the same name it will create confusion, which the gnomes apparently love doing.
Okay, well I'm going to keep on calling it Upper Engar. Or I just might just call it Upper.
Okay, so you have a encouraging, happy to travel gnome valet. Do you have a name for your gnome?
Azriela.
That's a cool name.
Okay, so now checking in on Sue to see if Sue's available. You're still on mute if you are. Sue still on mute. Checking on M and Josh. Still away, so yes, so you've got Azriela, the gnome valet, who's encouraging you to do stuff. And on the bright side, you should be able to get to Dengar via the dwarvish, the inns of Redrin, yes.
That is handy.
As he will have put a outpost at hopefully in Dengar or near Dengar by that time.
Okay. So what's the second screen that's next to the player screen?
Let's see.
Or is that the sound effects thing?
Sorry, I'm on an international call. I'll be back in a minute.
All good, Sue. So the one next to the play screen is actually the soundboard.
Okay.
Makes it easy for me to remember which sound effects I'm using at the time, if I need to ever look it up.
Is that Sirenscape?
That is Sirenscape, yes. So yes, you are. You have your valet. You have gained yourself a title in Durakan, so that if you ever show them your award of service, they will call you Sir automatically.
Okay.
So you are Sir Yodri to most of the Durakonian populace. And is Yodri more inclined to have a domain to call his own and build up his own little fiefdom, or would he want a place to park his ship and build up his own trade empire?
Oh, definitely two, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so having a port that my mother could use would be interesting.
Well, it'd be the equivalent of you have a dock at a wharf that's guaranteed for your use.
Yeah.
And a warehouse space nearby that you could load and offload to.
Yeah.
Or you'd have a bit of land that you can then build on and build your own little paradise. So what appeals to Yodri more?
Well, I don't really want to get landlocked, that's the thing. So I'll probably go for the docks.
Okay, so that would be at the city of Athenos. You would have a dock. Next, and that's right next to the Five Shires.
Oh.
Okay, so what sort of cargo does Yodri use as his main cargo? What is it? What is it he deals in?
Okay. I like to deal with spices. I'm just trying to work out where to get those things from.
I'm sure you could ask the master. He's probably got lots of contacts.
Yeah, the master that wants to destroy all elves.
Yeah, that's the one. Rumors have it that he dropped a world tree that connects the planes together on the city of Ankasoli.
Connects the planes together.
Yes.
You mean all planes?
Yes.
So what's basically that's like death. And good.
And he dropped a mile-wide tree, which was one of the world trees, on top of that city.
Was it lying down or standing up?
It was floating on a big chunk of rock.
Okay.
It was witnessed by some other characters. And wherever the world tree went, the Master's territory expanded out to. Rumors are that on the other, if you're on the other side of his territory, you do not have access to the gods anymore.
Well, I was expecting something that was a mile in circumference or whatever. Yeah. Okay. This is so that's. Yeah, I'm probably going to be going for imports from the Seven Shire.
Five Shires, actually.
5 Shires. Well, 6 Shires. This area is going to be the 6th Shire.
It's not a domain; it's a wharf. You chose a space to actually park your ship, not to call your own.
No. Yes, but not yet. It will eventually be the 6th Shire.
Fortunately, it has its own leader. The entire domain of Ethengar has its own boss, so they won't accept a takeover that easily.
Too much hassle doing overland and all that crap. Too much effort.
It is a lot of effort. Whereas a few of the others have taken up some domains between the mountains and the Elven Forest.
Okay.
So they can only get stuff in Borderlands, not in the actual named areas, because they already have bosses. Okay. Is there anything that Yodri would have sought out for himself, equipment-wise, that he's missing?
Equipment-wise, I normally just go with the flow.
Occasionally he does get to pick his own things.
Oh, okay. What would I really need? just really didn't put much thought in that.
Yeah, it can be sometimes a bit disconcerting when someone says, "Hey, what would you like?" I don't really know.
Well, let's see. I've got my sunglasses my glasses of charming. I've got my helmet I can speak to anybody. I've got my leather armor that can turn into any clothes I want. I've got 2 swords, short sword and my glowing sword. I've got my gauntlets, which gives me great strength. I've got my little anti-magic missile brooch. What else have I got? My bag of tricks, which I hardly ever use. Endless decanter of water. And that mug that pours out all that ale, which I can't drink, but it can make honey.
You can make lots of different things.
Yeah. Actually, how with the honey in that?
Yeah.
Is it actually magical, or is it actually normal honey?
It's normal honey.
Okay. So I could start shipping that.
You could, but it doesn't make a huge amount.
Ah, okay.
It's
like, yeah.
You can make a huge amount of seawater.
Yeah, but I'm on the coast, which has got lots of seawater.
I know. That's why I thought it was amusing.
Oh, and I've got my bag of holding. And my ring of analytics. How many rings can someone wear?
You can technically wear as many as you can fit on your fingers.
But you can only attune to so many.
You can only attune to 4 items, and next level you get a 5th item you can attune to.
Yeah, so what's it? Yeah, where's my
So, are we doing mostly equipment and stuff?
Well, we will go off and do stuff once we get a Josh and an M back and a Sue back. But I was giving Ross some stuff while you were making some food.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I just was
Okay, so
curious.
I honestly have no idea with the magical items. An invisibility cloak.
You want an invisibility cloak?
I can't
I
really
want
think
an
of anything.
invisibility
That's
Just so that I can wear it with my head still revealed and freak out Chocobo.
My body disappeared.
Or put it around my head and freak out Chocobo. Although Chocobo might try to eat me.
yeah.
Okay. Just trying to find something here that suits Yodri while you're looking at stuff.
Is there like a ring of mending?
That would
Or a
be
ring of knock?
There is a charm of opening. Chime of opening, I think it is.
Oh yeah, the chime one. But doesn't that basically opens all locks in the area?
I think it's specific.
Or I might be thinking of the cursed one, which is it opens up everything, and also if you're wearing a belt, it does that as well.
Okay, here's something that you might find interesting. They're called hopeful slippers.
What are they called?
Hopeful slippers.
Hopeful slippers. I want a pair. What do they do?
While you're wearing them, your wisdom score increases by 2.
Oh, wow.
And you have advantage on handle animal checks. So you can choose to instead get a charisma bonus of 2 and advantage on performance checks.
That sounds pretty cool.
Eek.
I'd probably take second option.
But you can change between them.
Oh, that's gross. That gives me a equivalent of +5 in charisma.
They generally cost 10,000 gold.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
And that will make persuasion my best skill.
Yeah.
Eek.
Fala's totally hoping to get some.
I have to be attuned to it to get the bonus?
You do require to be attuned to get the bonus.
Let's see. Attunement. Okay. Okay, so basically if I unattune the brooch, it still protects me, but it doesn't reverse the missiles back to the caster. Always thought that would be funny.
Yeah, so something that doesn't happen very often. It doesn't help if it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'll go for those slippers. They sound cool.
That's okay. So just so you know, Ross, they come from the magic book and extra encounter book for the level up system.
Okay.
I thought I'd flick through it and find interesting things that aren't necessarily what everyone knows.
Yep.
So if you're going to have magical items, they should be magical, not just the thing that gives you the exact bonus you need to defeat the next enemy you face. Okay, so yes, you have a fancy set of new slippers that are either like clogs or glass. So the clogs help you with animals and the glass help you with performances.
It sounds rather uncomfortable.
But with the glass ones, you have to fend off princes who want to marry you.
Quite possibly.
Okay, with my granite-studded leather, does that actually change their appearance as well?
It can if you wish them to, but the thing is, the crystal itself it is not uncomfortable to wear. But then again, you are a halfling, so you could probably walk on sharp stones and not worry about it either.
Yeah, I know.
So yes, So you have a spice warehouse out of Athenos. You have a bunch of gnomes and halflings working with you.
Yep.
And you've got a lead on where Pilfering came from, which is not too unusual considering the gnomes who had him were not far from there.
Yep. Oh, good. I just realised my initiative's gone up by another 2. If I actually have the charisma one on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, I'm really quick now.
Well, it increases the score, not the bonus, by 2.
Oh, okay, the score. Okay, so it only gives me a +1. Fair enough. I thought it was +2 bonus. Okay,
All good.
+2 to the stat. Fair enough. Yep. So either if I change it to my wisdom or charisma, I'll get a +1. Cool. That's good.
Okay, the difference is D&D is generally based around a stat between 3 and 18 that it used to be rolled on 3d6 to determine what the ability score was. And then they came up with a system to say that 10 became standard and below 10 got a negative score based on every 2 below it. And above 10 became a bonus based on every 2 above that. And so that's why things like Pathfinder and your characters are listed as a plus instead of a number to simplify it so it's not overly complex to deal with. But that's the basis behind a score instead of a bonus.
Yep, okay.
And in 99% of the cases when you're dealing with things, you deal with a bonus, not the score.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yes. It used to be in 2nd edition you had to roll under your score to get certain effects.
Yep.
But it's been a long time since they've actually done that. Okay. So, just checking in on seeing how our other people online are going, if they've gotten back to us. Not as yet. Okay, so
I'm going to go down the warlock path, and it'll be of the chain.
So warlock of the fathoms with the chain.
Yep. So I've got a familiar.
Mm-hmm. So this mean you're the rogue, sorcerer, warlock?
Yep.
How many rogue levels do you have?
I've got 6 levels of rogue, 1 level of sorcerer, and now 3 levels of warlock.
Which will be an interesting mix. Okay, I shall poke Em and Josh and see how they are. If they are actually.
I only just got back.
You only just got back. Yes. It's okay. You missed the whole.
Just got back.
Yep.
How are you doing?
No, I did.
Would you? So would you like to introduce yourselves?
For like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I've been sitting here quietly because I didn't want to wake baby, which has been troublesome tonight.
I can understand. So we'll start off with Em introducing herself and her character.
I am Sol, your ever-lovable clerical wizard.
Failed range.
I have gained many experiences in the last couple of years, and have had a slight reduction of compared to.
So are you a 5th level cleric, 5th level wizard?
No. So 6th level cleric, 4th level wizard.
And 1st level ranger.
No, I'm not fire glassing.
It's okay. We just had Ross inform us he has.
Oh, really?
But the amusing thing is, there is a prestige class that combines cleric and wizard, as long as you got 5 levels of each.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes, the prestige class of Failed Ranger.
Hey, it could simply be called that. It's basically based around the Mystic Theurge from the old 3rd edition, which means you gain spellcasting levels of both at the same time. So while you'd be Cleric 5, Wizard 5, first level of Mystic Theurge is your equivalent of Cleric 6, Wizard 6. And so with 10 levels of that, you become a Cleric 15, Wizard 15 spellcasting ability at 20th level.
Nice. I didn't realize that because we didn't really go into much of that, and I updated my character. So.
You're welcome to switch that Cleric to Wizard if you'd like to aim for that.
So being 5th level.
Yeah, 5th level Wizard, 5th level Cleric.
Yep. If that is something that I can do, that sounds very exciting.
Well, I thought I would let you know about that because it's not always possible to achieve because, hey, taking 5 levels of 2 different classes is not easy.
No, it's not.
Especially when you die and you lose your levels.
All year round.
Which then...
Yes, no, that sounds exciting. And I do need to set a time, come over, look out while and just sit down.
Well, we've got people doing Star Wars stuff tomorrow, so next weekend might be a good time if you guys have free time.
I think we said that we're going to come next weekend.
Yep.
Because my parents were down the coast.
Yep.
I think so, but I mean, it's been a while. Unless I have nothing to look after.
It's okay. Maybe just roll around.
I find it really difficult to concentrate.
Well, we'll figure that out.
Often.
We understand that. And so then we'll have Josh introduce his character.
Hi, I'm Josh. I play Chevelle, the Paladin! Earlier this afternoon, Em and I decided that for every level, an extra A gets added into
Oh, okay.
So does this mean you're up to 10 A's now?
20, because there's 2 A's in Paladin.
True.
So there's 20 A's.
I feel like it should be a lot longer then.
Yeah.
I had a screen this afternoon.
Yeah.
It has been better to go up.
We need to record it and then just play it.
Yeah, people are looking and I'm pretty sure Daycare is coming.
So what you've missed out on is that Yodtri's gotten information saying that Pilfering actually came from the mountains near Alfheim, in the area located near the ruins of Jeriad, where you found Calcrex.
Oh,
Interesting.
that's cool.
So he wants to go and investigate the ruins where he believes a crashed starship had landed.
Can you spell the runes?
I will try. I will just try blowing up the map first.
Yeah, that might help.
Let's see. There we are. It's JHY
Yep.
RRAD.
Girard? Girard. Depends on whether or not that J is lots of other things. But yeah, we'll go with that.
Lots of silent J's.
Well, J's can be H's, but then why would you stick a H next to it? But it has been done. They can also be Y's
And
or G's.
people can make what they want of it.
Do you need me to get you something?
I'm just going to grab myself something.
You want drink or food?
I'm just going to grab a salad.
Oh, okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Also, did you, Yodri also got was it a dog?
Yes, I got a dog.
Yeah.
I'm now in the
Spice business.
Yeah.
business.
So, like, you know how we all got 8 miles of region? Instead of that 8-mile region, Yodri got a dock. Is that right?
That's correct.
Oh,
And a warehouse.
I didn't know a dock was an option.
He also now has a servant known as
Oh, yes.
Zelia.
Azalea. Azriela?
Yes.
Azriela. There you go.
Oh,
I'm sure I'll keep getting it wrong.
okay. Just think of Smurfs. Gargamel's cat, but female.
Yeah, with an A. That's what I thought exactly when you first said it.
Yep. And my familiar, I might as well go for a pseudo dragon. What was it? Blue is the sea dragons, isn't it?
Pseudo Dragon is an advanced familiar which you generally don't start with.
With the chain one, I can start with it.
You can start with it.
Yeah.
So you wanted one associated with the sea?
Yeah. And
Why
it
they
being
called
with the same
pseudo-dragon?
naming technique, I'm going to call that, what was it, Scorch.
Oh, I think I forgot to mention what I called my
Yes. Your griffin.
griffin. I was gonna say hippogriff because I've been listening to Harry Potter.
Just so you called him Hippogriff?
No, I didn't actually. His name's similar to Olinus. And his name is Ares.
Makes sense?
So as in God of War?
Yep.
Oh, well, it has many meanings, I guess.
It could have been eerie as in high place to rest.
It could have been.
Or Spooky.
I figured because I'd already used a Greek god for my superb warlords, being Artemis, Atlas.
Ares is good.
Sorry.
Oh no, Atlas.
I was tossing up between Ares and Atlas. Sorry.
And what
I
did
chose
you?
Atlas.
Atlas. Okay.
So the reason why I chose Atlas, I think, over Ares was, I think, the map and world references.
Isn't Atlas actually a Titan? Isn't Atlas actually a Titan?
He is.
It's still in the same thing.
And then obviously there's still Chocobo, but Chocobo's, the reason why he doesn't follow the same name as the person is still Chocobo.
Well, no, his middle name's Hermes.
Hermes. It could be.
You're sure his middle name isn't Krisha, God of Chaos?
It could be that too. But isn't Creature evil?
He's also the Ethengarian. He's also one of the 3 core Ethengarian gods.
Oh, is he?
Yep. So he, Yamuga, and Tubak. Took me a while to get that name out of my head. The 3 core gods that support the Ethengarians. Besides that,
It could be either. Hermes or Creature.
because Krisha is known to make practical jokes that make people think.
The Joker doesn't really make practical jokes, he's just...
Well, everyone now is always careful when they go to the bathroom in the wilderness.
That's true. That's true.
They look up when they're in rooms. And that they don't leave their animals unaccounted for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Martin,
Yep.
I don't know whether we're discussing, I think, at the end of our last session about weapon proficiencies. I think we were talking about weapon proficiency at the end of last session.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm currently expert with my Sword of Chosin.
I don't think you can get Master until level 12, because it's the same with my bows. The only reason why you have Grandmaster with your other one is because it's boosted.
That's right. That was
That was a dagger? No,
Dagger.
I think.
No, it was the flint dagger.
A flint dagger. But it's not the ice pick. Is that the druid?
That is the druid, yes.
And then I got the spear.
Yeah, you.
I didn't actually put that in.
I don't think you put it in because we did. Mom was going to do the stats.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I got caught up trying to get one of the other games up to speed.
that's all good. That's all good.
Okay, so that means the paladin should be expert in longsword and dagger.
Yep. Expert in longsword.
And Yodri instead got a pair of slippers.
Nah.
That make him talk to animals better and perform even better.
And also makes me a lot quicker too. And a lot more persuasive.
Nothing like a pair of glass slippers to make you run faster.
I'm back.
Hey, Sue.
I'm back, I'm Josh.
Terrible dad joke.
Hey, listen, there's a dad joke of the day whiteboard outside office hours, and I pulled the pirate joke. Wrote it all on there. I was happy.
Does this mean you're the main culprit for the dad jokes of the day?
Probably. That is probably it. Paladin level times 5, so that's...
So what I was asking Sue earlier before when she got called away was she's got a bunch of followers of Kamdu that have been exiled from Ethengar. Is she willing to be their boss?
Yeah, okay.
So they're now following you instead of Kamdu?
Yeah.
And they start quoting Imni instead of Kamdu. Imni does this, Imni does that.
No.
What would Imni do?
Oh, I don't know if Imni would like that.
Too late now.
And
So you've now got a fan club.
and that,
Oh dear.
and that all happened after you accepted them as your care. So you've got about 30 odd people who follow you around and write down everything you say.
Oh god.
They're putting together the book of Imni to make up for what Kamdu did.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
So they call it the instruction book for life for the Ethengar incarnates.
Okay.
If we renounce Kamdu, I assume that to leave before you made the decision.
She's very disturbed by it all.
They're pretty much in agreement with the rest of the party, while we're extremely sad. It's not nice all around.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, it's very disturbing, and Imni's like, you know, she worshipped Kamdu, so for her, it's you know, very disturbing. But she recognises at the same time that, you know, to protect all of you, she needs, because she's very attached to all of you now, she needs to, you know, step up to the plate, you know.
And is Imni interested in founding her own lands and maybe building her own herd in Darakan?
Yeah.
Okay, so Imni does end up with a domain in Darakan. So some of the others have got that as well.
Okay. Cool.
If Emmy is making a fresh for breeding horses, I will happily stun out Artemis.
Okay.
For horse.
Well, hey, all those people who worshipped Kamdu had to go somewhere.
Great. So we've got Zal the Horned.
Well, considering Yodri can now give pointers with his animal handling bonuses, thanks to his new magic slippers. And I'm sure many a prince has come looking for this supposedly beautiful person wearing glass slippers, because there's always that fairy tale of if they drop a glass slipper, the person who picks up that slipper will marry their dream come true.
Yeah, not going to happen. Due to the fact, okay, well, I've got my two Eldritch invocations is Devil's Sight and Mask of Many Faces.
So while they hear the rumours of you, they don't know where you are?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was thinking of beast speech, but then I'll make that ring that I've got useless, but I like that ring. Mask of Many Faces can be interesting.
Yep. Each of them all have their bonuses. And did you pick a specific type of Eldritch Blast?
I'll go for the a blue water themed type Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Because I believe the choices are Eldritch Disturbance, Eldritch Ray, Eldritch Scythe, or Eldritch Whip. But if you just want it to be blue...
I thought the other ones I actually have to pay for.
No, you pick one. You pick one. The standard one is Eldritch Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Disturbance, Scythe, and Whip are three other alternatives to the Ray. So that's the difference between playing base 5th edition and playing an advanced version of 5th edition.
So what the other ones are like yours in melee?
Each one has their own benefits.
Okay. So was it Whip, Scythe?
Ray or Disturbance.
I'll just stick with Ray.
Yep. All good. And you're convincing everyone to head out to Sasquatch territory.
I want to go meet a Sasquatch.
Is that the round Sasquatch or the white Sasquatch?
I'm sure you can ask them and find out.
So we're either going to run into Wookiees or Wampas.
Could be worse. Could be running into Rancors. They've got big feet.
Regulars I could probably talk to.
Okay, which page am I looking
One.
for? Yep.
Just spells as paladin. So I've got now 2 slots in level 3.
Yeah.
In terms of learning spells,
Now, the base paladin spells at level 3. The core ones are Aura Vitality, Blinding Smite, Create Food and Water, which is also a ritual, Crusader's Mantle, Daylight, Dispel Magic, which is also a ritual, Elemental Weapon, Magic Circle, which is ritual only, Remove Curse, and Revivify, which is also a ritual. They're all 3rd level spells.
Yeah, so how many do I learn? Just 2?
I believe for a paladin you learn 1 spell a level.
1 spell a level, so I'll have to learn 3 spells. Okay, great.
Remember, you can upcast spells as well. And you can spend downtime to learn more spells.
Yep.
And because you are also potentially fire as well, there's a bunch of 3rd level things you can learn from fire. Including things like Fireball.
Yoink. Fireball it.
Mal's Minute Meteors.
What was that?
Mal's Minute Meteors.
Oh, wow.
Which comes from Xanathar's Guide.
I'll have to click through the...
Blade of Wrath.
Yeah. Where's the file on the log?
Each spell is interesting in its own right.
How much damage does a vial of acid do?
Generally a D4 to a D8 depending on which version of the game you're playing.
Yeah, because I've picked up the spell Catapult, and I was thinking of getting a whole bunch of flasks of acid. Because I think Greek fire would be too much of a problem.
It would, because then you'd have to explain where the Greek comes from. Almost as bad as one of my characters in a Friday night having his character's background from a completely different setting.
Okay.
How do you do that?
He got his game nights confused.
Oh. That makes sense.
So it took him a while to figure out that the NPC saying, I believe that's very far away, I don't know where that is.
Oh, I see. Yep.
We actually had to spell it out to him that he crossed worlds.
Must have been
Well,
tired.
that Mark, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not amused that you picked that up. I'm thoroughly amused, actually.
It's
Say
okay.
that the right word?
I just went with it and let his character be his character.
Yeah. Mark's funny though.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, should I go keep with Pseudo Dragon or should I go for an Imp? Pseudo Dragons look good. Imp's got invisibility. I think I'll go for keep on the Pseudo Dragon. Wearing a small little hat with a feather in it and an eye patch.
And where does he wear the eye patch? On his knee?
No, it's a chest guard.
Okay, so yes, you have decided to head out into the wilds of Rockholm. How many of you take some of your followers with you, or do you just head out by yourselves?
I've got priest followers, don't I? I might leave them behind.
How many followers did I have as well? I had a dozen? No.
Okay, so Chauvel had 12 druids.
Oh, sweet. Dozen. I will take 3.
I don't know if I want any followers to come.
They'll still be following you.
Oh, unless I tell them not to.
They'll still want to follow you because they want to record everything you do.
Yeah, but I can only take 1 or 2, and the rest have to stay behind.
That sounds like a good medium.
So Imni takes 2 of them because apparently they took advantage of the fact you said 1 or 2.
Ah, okay.
If you put them both together, that gives you 12.
No.
And don't worry, I'm sure the rest of them were listening closely and are all following behind.
There's only 2. 1 and 2.
How many does Zal take with him?
How many did I have again? 6? 4?
You had 6 Griffin Riders.
6. I will take 3. And probably set the other 3 to something else.
Cat off. Sorry, my cat just jumped on the laptop.
You're giving it attention instead of me. It must be me.
End of the meow virus.
Okay, so how many does who we got left? Yodri. How many people does Yodri take with him?
Well, basic Azrael, and that's about it. Everybody else is running the merchant, the spice industry.
Come on down. No,
Since I'm the legitimate side of my mother's business.
I like it.
So you're selling all her illegal gains.
I'm not saying they're illegal gains. I'm just upselling stuff that I'm importing, and I've also got spices in that.
So is that sort of like laundering money? You're laundering stolen goods.
If you not believe they were stolen, they were. I've got the information here. They're not stolen. They've been found on shorelines and things like that.
Lost at sea.
Yes. Or failure being picked up in ports.
Is the lost in quotation marks?
Quite possibly. So you've got about 10 people following you with a bunch of animals.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
Who's that? Me.
Well, the group of you. So Thala's not taking anyone special with her. Chauvel has 3 druids. Imni has 2 followers writing down every word.
Okay, so I'll have to get Azrael in charge of logistics and finding out how the hell we're going to maintain this small army.
You have 4 griffins, bunches of horses, and a
So we've
for your tavern.
Oh. Yeah, that's true. Sorry, I thought you meant like as in forwards. Not as in forward.
So there's a lot of people following along with you as you travel.
Oh dear. So much for being healthy.
Yeah, no stealth.
Stealthy's easy. I just ride either in front of you or behind you.
And don't worry, I'm sure Imni is announced at every town you arrive at because she's that important.
It's pretty important.
I thought it'd be Lord Chevelle saying that basically she's a paladin.
Yeah.
Yes, but she doesn't have the people who want her to get a better note in the world and help reclaim her name amongst her people.
Oh, true.
I really like the idea though.
So it takes you 4 weeks of travel to reach the foothills of the mountain. Mainly because you do have a lot of people who want to shake hands and meet the infamous people that you are.
Father's going to travel most of the way as an animal of some sort. So she's not easily recognizable.
So people wear you as a squid hat?
Not quite. Probably more like a horse.
A horse hat?
No.
I mean, she can turn into a bird, right?
Yeah.
Why don't she fly along with the griffins?
Actually, that sounds like a good idea. I could actually turn into a griffin, I think.
Not as easily.
But yeah, I'll go for something like a bird.
So that's pretty, I was going to say conspicuous, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. I believe she can turn into a large bird as well.
Wasn't it like an eagle or a falcon or something?
I think she can turn into a giant eagle or a giant hawk.
I won't go into a giant beastie. I'll just go into a normal sized, nondescript beastie.
Is there anything normal to say?
Well, technically, I could turn into an axe beak.
Oh god. Please don't do that.
I have many times. But I think I'll just do a hawk.
Any particular colours for your hawk?
The same colour as my current season, which I believe is winter and spring.
I believe that is blue and brown.
Blue and brown, yeah. So brown at the base of my feathers and blue at the tips.
So you've got a blue-tipped hawk, which you've never really seen before, flying amongst you. You've never seen in nature, but you know it is your wonderful Thala, having seen her changed into it a few times. So 4 weeks has you traveling through, reaching the mountains known as, if I can find that page again, the Dwarf Gate Mountains. Setting out from a dwarven city and heading up into the mountain ranges, following no particular path.
I think momentous happens along the way.
Well, you have been called into nearly every government city along the way. Because, hey, you're important.
Do I get to count the time while I'm waiting for all the people to talk to all the politicians as downtime?
Not as easily.
Aw. Worth a try.
Most downtime requires weeks. So,
Hey, 4 weeks travelling there. I'm reckoning the downtime might end up 3 or 4 days. You add up those days, eventually I'll get a week. I'll learn a skill. How to carve a boat. Or something.
out of twigs.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, so you've travelled from Darken through the Yelaram Desert into the Dwarf Mountains, and finally get yourself to the Dwarf Gate. Spiral Dwarf Gate.
Do we avoid the arches of the archways of the desert?
You'd have learnt about them, yes.
Yes, okay.
Otherwise you wouldn't remember anything at all about
Yeah,
Yelaram.
because we'd lose all of that knowledge we just gained last session about the War of the Gods if we went through the archways. So even though we're important people, we'll have to kind of avoid certain parts of Yelaram.
See if I can show a picture to give you some idea of what you can see.
That's a pretty new book. Is it an old book, just kept in good condition?
I know it's a new book, as in the last 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, I guess new is relative to you, because some of your books you've had for 20 years.
Yeah. So, heading into the mountains. Do you guys do anything in particular to help with your mountain ranging?
Can we?
Including Indy from there.
Well, I might have to ask you to go one at a time because it was breaking up. So we'll start off with M, and then do Sue and Ross, and then Josh. So M.
Zal's suggestion is to use the sky and see if we can find a path, a safer path up for everyone who can't fly.
Okay, so what did Sue suggest?
I don't know, maybe just go with what Zal suggested.
And all your followers say the wisdom of Imni is profound as they write down your suggestion.
Oh, God. I really don't like these followers.
I suspect everybody in the group's wisdom is going to become Emny's wisdom. Not that I mind, I find this very amusing.
Imni really finds it almost unbearable.
Oh.
Speaking of wisdom, my shoes are in clog mode.
Okay.
I will just use my druidic knowledge, like if there's difficult terrain, I can use face step to go up high and then use vines to help people up, that kind of thing.
Okay, and how about Josh? How was Josh thinking things should be solved?
What were we solving again? Sorry, I don't have wireless headphones.
All good. It was how are we going to travel through the mountains?
I'm pretty sure there would be a path through the mountains. So
There is no base path in this direction because there are no settlements there.
I really don't want to fly.
No, as in use our advantage of flying out to find a safe earth armor. Being earthians.
Sounds good if you guys want to scout that out.
Okay.
I would say why we shouldn't use it if we've got the ability.
Okay, so I will have M give me a survival roll with disadvantage as you're scouting the area.
Yep, it must be a rough area.
No, it's because you're no longer a ranger.
Oh, okay.
No, but there are reasons.
probably other flying monsters.
If I want to like talk to trees and stuff like that to find out if there's any danger in the area, do I have to roll for that?
I will give you a, I think it's persuasion roll. I think it's persuasion or. Yeah.
I'll roll the dice. And
So remembering all the different systems can be a bit blurry sometimes.
yeah.
Sorry, survival, was it?
It was survival, yes.
You've got proficiency bonuses, didn't they?
Yep, so you add an extra one.
Oh no, it's because I'm talking to the plants. Then it needs to be
Yes.
persuasion rather than perception.
It is persuasion, she's talking to the plants.
Actually, I
Don't
have
think pretty complicated since.
Also, where the ability modified, you want to take more
Well, it's wisdom, so it is actually got a whole bunch of one. It would be going on.
So your proficiency modifier would be +4, you would be adding your wisdom to it.
So what's the base proficiency? Is just
Is +4.
okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to work out whether I updated this one. So +4.
Which you get at level 9.
Who kind of my wisdom?
So it's +6.
Okay, so I did not that. And then that's the only things added to it, right?
That is correct.
Okay. The other roll was 11 plus 6. Was 17.
17 is not a bad roll. Okay, so you find a very roundabout route that heads you into the region. You do notice that most of your fellow Feathergale Knights aren't very good at scouting this region. Let's see how they do. Well, actually, they're surprisingly better than you at that scouting the region.
Well, I mean, they've been in the air longer than I have, so
Yeah, plus they're not fail rangers.
apparently not. Actually, what are they? What is their class?
Why not say ranger?
Okay.
That works for me. So you have 3 rangers with you.
Yeah.
So you can go ranger, ranger, ranger. Just making a note of that. So,
That's fine.
and that they sort of point off, saying that there's some sort of magical field making people look the other way in that direction. Maybe you want to go there.
So they've spotted?
A field that is making people's minds try to look the other way.
Oh, okay. Definitely want to go in that direction.
Yeah, let's walk towards the wibbly wobbly magic.
Is that the direction that I want to go into anyway?
It is roughly in that direction, but hey, as these are all 8 mile wide hexes, there's lots of different mountains and valleys to go up and down. So from this city of Stahl, it takes you 2 weeks to get into the Sasquatch territory, because the mountain ranges are that unforgiving.
Hang on, I've just got to go and feed a cat.
Now, I'm hungry now.
And you hear much words of wisdom from Imni getting written down.
feed cat.
They must see to the cat.
The wise words have been
Feed.
always feed the cat.
That's probably an answer to feed a one.
Did you say
Speaking
that was,
words of wisdom, let it be.
Give the chocobo our legs.
did you say that the rangers that Zal has spotted this field of weirdness?
Yep.
Yep.
But it takes you about 2 weeks to reach that space.
Yep. I would do speak with plants along the way, which is a 10-minute ritual, and just allows me to ask the plants about.
Though you can also talk to them without the ritual, with Tree Speaker.
Yeah. I think with the tree speak, you have to roll persuasion. With speak with plants, I can just get simple information. Or do you have to roll for both of them?
Well, one gives you ability to communicate with them when you normally can't,
Oh,
and the other one allows you to talk with them without magic.
okay. So
You can
recommend-
you can naturally talk to trees. This allows you to talk to plants that you can't normally talk to.
Okay, so you recommend that. Okay. Oh, I'll do that then.
But if you want to talk to a flower, which you don't have talk with flower, you can use speak with plants to talk to a flower.
Okay. Well, it depends, I guess, on the terrain we're in. Do any of them give us information? Do
It
I
does
need-
say that a lot of strange creatures can be found in that direction.
Can I get any idea of if they think these creatures are dangerous or not?
They damage trees. They're horrible. They rip them apart.
Fair enough. Alrighty.
They pervert nature.
Alrighty. I'll leave it at that. I might scout from the air at times, though, given the opportunity. When I'm in my hawk form.
Okay. So if you're going to scout the area, you also need to make a survival roll at disadvantage. Which means if you get a natural 20 on one, it doesn't count.
Okay. Well, that's 10.
And then you roll a second time and you take the lowest.
Okay. It's a 13.
So the 10 is the one that count.
Do I add anything to that? Or
Do you have survival as one of your skills?
I might not. Cultural history, insight, medicine, nature, perception, performance. Oh, I do survival. So that's plus wisdom.
So that is 4 for your proficiency and your wisdom being, I think, what's your
I've got a
wisdom?
4/5.
So as you're currently, I can't remember if went. So it's either a 8 or a 9 on top of this. So it's about a 18, 19.
18, yeah. Take 18.
Take 18.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, you are able to withstand the confusion field that's in the area.
Yep. Can I tell what's in the area?
A lot of the area is obscured by magic.
Which is not much more than what we already know, but worth a try.
Do you think whatever's down there, someone doesn't want anyone to know about?
And did you say it was just outside of a city starting with S?
It was 2 weeks of travel from the city of Stahls,
Okay.
Stahl.
Thank you.
And at that 2 week point, you see over the top of the hill that part of the rocky slope on over the hill is a metal wall of great height. And you see a small door open on it. And far down on that slope, another large door is sealed tight.
So a metal wall of great height. And there's a small door that opens, or it is open.
A small door is open, and a larger door closed lower down the slope.
Okay. Is Pilfering excited?
He does not appear to be particularly excited.
Okay. Is there like a path leading from the big door?
The big door's at the bottom of the wall that you can see, whereas the small door is way up the slope. Okay, let's see if I can get this to actually behave for me.
I was going to say, do you need some bookmarks?
Oh, it comes with a bookmark.
Oh, I mean extra bookmarks.
Okay, let's see if I've got a good camera. I'll use this camera.
Still the camera?
Okay, so let's see. So if you can see that there appears to be some sort of door there.
Yep.
And another one all the way up there.
And that's the small door.
And that's the small door.
And we're closer to the small door?
No, you're closer to the big door.
Okay.
The small door's way up there, so I will change the view. There we go. Should be easier for you guys to see that picture.
Fine.
So again, showing that's the big door that's closed. And all the way up here is the small door that's open.
How far away is the small door?
Okay, I will read the description and get back to you. Okay, you think the small door is probably about an hour's climb up the side of the cliff?
I was just wondering if it was within 100 feet.
Can I fly over and...
You would think it's probably about 500 to 600 feet at least.
Beyond familiar range. Okay.
You'd like to fly up there?
Yeah. Not beyond druid range. Up a cliff.
Yep, it's up a side of a slope.
Yeah.
So to climb up, it'd take at least an hour to climb up the slope.
Flying though, less time?
Flying less time, yes. Flying would take maybe about a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so you see that the doors open to this big metal place.
Mm-hmm. So metal place as in, it looks like the inside is some sort of building or structure?
So it's about 18 feet deep and 20 feet wide.
The door or the structure?
Area on the other side of the door.
18 feet deep.
And
you said 20 wide?
Yep, and on the inside of it you see another set of doors about 10 foot wide. Does Zal fly up as well?
Sorry, yes.
Okay. So yes, you are standing what appears to be a very shiny entryway made out of metal.
No sign of people?
No sign of people.
Any sign of furnishings of any sort?
There are no furnishings at all.
No signs or
plaques or?
No signs or plaques.
Is everything in that area metal, or is there any?
You're standing outside on stone.
Yeah, but I can't talk to stone, so no plant life.
No plant life, yeah.
Okay. I can talk psychically with Sal?
No.
No? Okay. But I could change into my normal form.
I think you can talk normally.
Oh, can I?
Yes.
Really? Even though I'm a bird?
I believe it says so in there.
Okay, cool. Alright.
It's remembering what I'm putting there.
Considering that, then I suggest as well we get the others up here. Does it look like it'd be... I'm just wondering, maybe we should try and leave all the followers outside, but hidden.
Well, they can look after your mounts.
Yeah.
For the first time you've got someone to look after your mounts instead of Chocobo.
Chocobo's been pretty good at the job when he doesn't eat them. So I suggest as well that maybe we go back and report to the others, settle all of the excess members of our team and our mounts, and then bring Cheval, Yodri and Imni up with us. Which we could possibly do on...
Coming up on the, being carried, then...
Sorry, what was that?
So we could bring them up by carrying them, like,
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say the griffins could bring them up, although I don't know if you're going to get Cheval on a griffin or whether a griffin will just pick up Cheval. And,
my griffin will probably just pick up Cheval because I'll pull it through.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, that would be paladin handling there. I'm sure eventually your griffins will start saying, Paladin! Okay, so yes, as you're getting up there, as you're starting to move people up there, you hear a beeping noise coming from the door, and the door starts to close.
Oh, well, I'll turn around and get myself into the door.
Okay.
Going for a slide in.
So you slide in.
Yep.
And I'm going to duck to the bathroom, and some of you can determine if you slide in while Sal's in the middle of transferring people. Who got up first?
Zal, who do you transfer up first?
Probably Paladin.
And then perhaps Yodri, because he's got the Pilfering, which is why we're there.
I figured I've got 3 other griffins, so it could probably I get the Paladin.
Yeah, but, so Cheval could probably hold the door, or slow the door down maybe, so that we can get Imni and Yodri in. What was that, Ross?
Hold the door!
Yeah, pretty much.
Hold the door!
Because we don't really want to split the party. And I'll try and slow the door down while you're getting Cheval.
I'm saying we can almost get everyone up at once, almost.
Well, it depends on how much time Martin gives us and how quickly the door shuts. I'm guessing, because he's mentioned order, like he said, decide who you want to come up and what order they come up in. It might be that he's suggesting we need a strong person up there to slow the doors down because there wouldn't otherwise be enough time. So instead of taking a minute or 2 for the door to close, it might only take seconds, and someone might have to slow that down.
Yeah, well, so for me, like, we both realise what's happening, I go get the paladin while directing the other riders to bring everyone else up.
Yeah.
But I'll get the paladin first.
Yeah. Are you happy with that, Martin?
Okay, so that means it starts closing while you're getting the paladin.
I will do my best to slow the door down from closing. The glasses cleaner thing needs a new batteries.
Yep.
Just let you know why it's not in the bathroom.
Okay. So as you get in, you get to the door. You hear it making hissing noises as it starts to shut.
If I have to, I'll use my staff, or wild shape into a black bear. So I think that might be one of the strongest things I've got.
Okay.
I'm fairly sure a giant squid won't help me here.
It probably won't.
Although I could make an inky mess.
You could. You could ink the place.
Just means that everyone else can slide in. Depends. Does the door go down like, you know, Indiana Jones sliding underneath?
Okay, go. I'll say it's going down.
Because if it's doing that, well then ink won't help. I think though that a squid would be pretty squishy though, right?
A squid would be pretty squishy, yes.
Would I theoretically just take damage from the door and then change shape once everyone's through?
Theoretically, unless it's strong enough to cut you in half. Some doors can't be held open.
Is this that kind of door?
Could quite possibly be. It's a thick door.
So does Cheval, do the rest of the party make it back before the door closes?
You have a feeling the door will shut before they make it. So if you go through, you'll be on your own.
I'm going to go on the inside and see if I can figure out how to make it open.
Okay.
They don't make it back?
They will not make it back in time.
Okay. Alright.
So, as the rest of you reach the door that you saw Thala go into, it is now a solid wall with a little door shape in it.
Oh.
Having rushed up here onto this ledge.
This is where I wish I had those slippers. I don't know if I put them in your equipment. No.
And it feels of a metal that unlike anything you've touched before. You do not recognize the type of metal the door is made out of.
Am I alone?
You are alone
In the dark?
In the dark.
Can I probe for switches and things?
You can.
Wouldn't it be good if I was a warlock? A call out just to see if the others can hear me at all.
They do not hear you. You can't hear them.
Okay.
Does anyone bash on the door?
I can find traps. That's not the same as finding an opening for the door. Would that be correct?
The paladin's probably the ones strong enough to make any sort of bend on my door.
Bash door.
Okay, so you hear a slight tink tink on the wall behind you.
Okay, I'll presume that that's the paladin.
Oh,
Paladin's weapon doesn't even scratch the door.
Yeah.
could do a detect magic, but I suspect that this is technological, so I don't think I will bother. I guess I'd try find traps.
Okay.
When I can find that again. Why is it there when you first come across it? And then when you go back to find it again, you can't find it.
Magic.
Yeah, that seems to be it. Control order. It was right here. Silkstone. Large juice. Here it is. Okay, that's enhance ability. Right, pages all over. Here we go. So it's instantaneous. Goes within 120 feet. Sense the presence of any trap within range that is within line of sight. It would include anything that would inflict sudden or unexpected effect. It also sense an area affected by an alarm spell, a glyph of warding, mechanical pit trap, but will not reveal a natural hazard such as a weakness in the floor or unstable heat ceiling. It just reveals the trap is present. Cast at higher levels, it highlights the closest trap. When cast at 6 level, I don't think I can do 6 yet. I'm 10, so that's 5.
Yep.
Okay, so I can cast it at 4th level, and it will highlight the closest trap.
But in line of sight.
In line of sight. Okay. Well.
So as you're in a 20 foot by 10 foot room.
Yep.
Sorry. 20 foot by 10 foot room.
Yeah.
Makes it very hard to see stuff.
Even if I light a torch or something?
If you light a torch, you still see a 20 foot by 10 foot room.
Okay.
Even if you cast it to detect traps, that's as far as you'll
okay, so because it goes 120 feet, it will detect traps 120 feet away, but I won't be able to see them 120 feet away.
You can will only go 120 feet if you can see 120 feet.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant, but I'm not explaining it well. Do I need to roll for that?
You do not, but you can also use your face step to return to the others if you wish to.
I wouldn't mind trying to see if I can figure out a way to open the door first.
All good. Okay, while you're looking at the door trying to figure out how it opens, you see a red light start flicking on.
Okay.
And feel a whole bunch of air moving around you.
Do I have any sense of what that might mean?
Give me an insight roll.
18. God, I wish I had better glasses. Insight, is that a skill?
That is a skill. Wisdom based.
Wisdom. So that's that 4/5.
Plus 4 for proficiency.
Okay, so 22.
22. Okay, you have a chemical smell going around you. So you think it's some sort of cleaner.
Some sort of
cleaner.
Cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Can I hold my breath?
You can.
Can I have a power of resistance? Would that work in this scenario?
Power of resistance.
It says increased damage dealt or decreased damage received by proficiency, acid or poison. Earth always active. Then there's air, dark, fire, water, which I've got at the moment, so that'd be cold or force.
So you have resistance to acid, poison, cold and force.
Okay, alright, so probably not.
And you're not activating it, it's always active.
Okay, so,
So while you've got the druid on the other side of the door, what's everyone on the outside of the door doing?
If I'm finally up there, I'll see if I can work out a way of opening the door, if it's possible.
There doesn't seem to be a lock on the outside.
Is this metal similar to the ones with the cats?
It is not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right now. Whoa!
So, how does Jodri propose getting through the door? Osu, your microphone is still on, hearing stuff from you at the moment.
Oh, it's Brett's
Yep.
I'll turn it off.
What we need is a dragon.
yes,
Yeah.
it'd be great if we had a dragon.
So you're suggesting using fire on the metal door while you've got a fire genasi nearby. Is that the suggestion?
Okay. What we could do is we could probably see if we can shatter the door. If it gets hot enough and it gets cooled down quick enough, we can probably make it fragile.
How are you proposing to heat it up?
Get the paladin pissed off at the door.
So how does Chauvel
Because I can cool it down quite easily. It's just I don't have any ability to heat it up.
does Chauvel or Zal have any way of heating up the door?
Yeah. Look, you might to heat up a door.
Which way are you going to attempt first?
I will start off with...
If I went down the sorcerer's path, I would have actually had knock. Oh well.
So what is Chauvel starting with?
So I will use it's not produce flame, it's burning hands, I think it is.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to use burning hands on the wall.
Yes.
Okay. So you spend chant away, cast your flames. You see the flames fly out from your hand, spread all over the metal in front of you, and the metal doesn't even seem to have heated up at all. You see no steam rise up, no changing color.
Oh well. Great.
Doesn't even feel hot to the touch. Still feels cool.
That's interesting.
Whatever it is, it's resistant to heat. May even be immune to heat. Which, if Yoji's belief would be correct that this is the part of the spacecraft, would be understandable if it's designed to survive re-entry. It's quite possible you're looking at the outside of a spaceship here.
What to do?
Okay, so while Thala is figuring out what to do, the air stops moving about and light starts coming into the room as the far doors start to open.
Okay. So the doors open and
You see what appears to be a large room with a circular chamber in the middle of it and passageways going off in 3 different directions.
I approach very cautiously. Do I see any?
At this point we're talking about splitting the party further.
Well, I'm wondering if in that main room there might be a way to open the outer doors. Which is... I know splitting the party is not a good idea, but in terms of my goal of getting them in here, well, actually before I do that, I wanted to finish my find traps, because even if it doesn't work, I figured it might help me figure out how to open the doors.
Unless it's the doors are trapped, the find traps won't give you any information about the doors.
No.
It literally does what it says it does. Is find traps.
Yeah, okay, so I figured it just do no harm. I have no other way of figuring out how these doors work aside from maybe looking for a panel somewhere along the entryway.
Okay. So, just outside the opening doors that into the room, you see, so there's a 20-foot diameter cylinder in the center of the area with archway openings in front of you and on the other side of the cylinder, so you can see all the way through it. With wide metal bands 8 feet apart running vertically down the 2 walls inside, which I can actually show you a picture of.
Can I also send messages to party members?
Depends on the spell. Some spells require line of sight.
Ending guidance.
So that's what Thala can see in the center of the room.
Okay. That looks pretty intimidating. Healing word intended to cloud on the way and speak with animals.
And either side of you is a violet panel.
What panel?
Violet.
Violet panel. It's a panel though, not buttons?
Not buttons.
Speak with plants. Don't I have a simple... I thought I got a sending message spell at one point. It's not here.
That may be the dragon.
No, this is separate to Thala. But then I noticed everyone else has gotten stuff and I don't have either. So it's something I have to follow up with you, as well as going through my notes to... Actually, it'll be in my notes when I got my... One of them I couldn't get as Calcrix.
Yep.
But I was able to get it as a druid, and so I asked for it for Thala in the other game. But I'd have to look in the player's handbook, unfortunately.
Okay.
I think it might be sending rather than message.
Okay. Sending.
It's the one that druids can do, because Calcrix definitely couldn't do it. But druids could.
So you could send 25 words or less to someone you know.
So I wanted to send Yodri a message. This is Thala. Try have Pilfering touch the door.
Okay.
I think that's less than 25 words.
make a note to talk to you about that.
Yeah, because sending's not a druid spell.
Okay, then was it message?
Message is a sorcerer spell.
Okay, this was a druid one. Because I've used it once before.
Yeah, okay, we'll have to look it up. Where it came from. So, I'll go back to those outside. What are you doing? How are you trying to open up the door?
So it's all smooth everywhere, then you've just got an outline of a door.
You've got an outline of a door, yes. And there are no tool marks.
Okay, Eldridge blast the door. See what happens.
Okay. So you hit the door with a force effect.
I'm guessing we didn't get her message.
I'm trying to establish that I can do it.
Yes, I know
I'm trying to find my list of spells.
Because they didn't give it to druid.
Yeah, I think the spell we needed was like heat metal.
It's assuming it's the sort of metal that can be heated.
Hey, I've got a sniff.
So far you've seen that the fire and the force effect have had no effect on the door. What other way do you have to open a door?
Can I try and knock? I know I have the knock spell.
You have the knock spell.
Oh, I think it's at a level I can't do yet. Okay. Can I create an elemental and send it outside?
Possibly, with the fact that he might be stuck in there with you.
Yeah.
Just currently looking up knock.
Yeah.
Okay, so M, you get to make a spell attack roll.
Spell attack roll.
Take this on my door.
Because knock is not automatic.
No.
You have to put the headphones into that, whatever you're watching.
And I'm sure headphones will help the knock spell completely.
Sorry, no. I was telling my son that he's listening to stuff, and I told him he had to put his headphones on.
All good, I was just being the GM using the voices being said to help with the scene.
Yeah, okay. The internet actually crashed.
I'm sorry about that.
So now we're using my hotspot.
Give me one. There's not a spell in there, so of course you're right. Maybe it was Animal Messenger and I'm getting myself confused.
Might be Animal Messenger, and Animal
And
Messenger.
that might be where I'm getting message
Yeah.
from. Yeah. I apologise for that.
All good. But there is a spell called Sending,
Yeah, well that's
but
it.
that's not on the druid list.
And we know I'm easily confused.
All good. So, M, what was your spell attack roll? 4 plus either int or wisdom, depending on which class you're using.
My int is better, so knock, but I would have to double check that. And
so it is 4 plus
something
your
plus
int
my
bonus. It's 4 plus your int bonus, your proficiency, because you're as a spell attack bonus, you always add your proficiency.
Yeah, so it would be 8 because my int is plus 4.
Yeah, so plus
and I
8.
got 14, so that would be 18.
So if you rolled a 14, that would make it a 22 with your plus 8.
So 22. Yep, sorry, I can totally math. I added the 4, but not the extra 4. Yep.
That's okay. It's just me. Okay, so there is a loud bell ringing that you can hear all around you as the rocks all slightly move to the sound of it. Because whenever you cast knock, it is a 30-foot audible bell ring. Oh, sorry, 300 feet audible bell ring. Not 30 foot, 300 feet. So it's going to be quite loud at the origin point.
Sorry guys.
I might have something that
and there's a grinding noise as the wall before you starts to rise up again.
Oh wow, you did it! Yay!
I knew one of you had at least knock, but I'm trying not to tell you what to do.
To be honest, I forgot I had it until you were asking. One of you something, and I'm like, oh shit, I've got knock. Cool.
Yeah, I was just saying that if I would have done the sorcerer cards, I would have had knock.
Yep.
Just out of curiosity, Conjure Elemental, which is different from Conjure Minor Elemental. Conjure Minor Elemental, you have to be able to see it. But in Conjure Elemental, it doesn't say you have to see it.
It comes up in a spot where you can see.
Well, I was wondering whether it doesn't actually say that, so I'm wondering if you could interpret that depending
if you would bring it up somewhere where you couldn't see, you wouldn't be able to give it instructions.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
And direct it, because the idea is you summon something you can direct.
So Conjure Celestial might be.
But as you're standing in that chamber with the panels and thinking about what you can do, the door behind you shuts.
Yep. I have a feeling that what will happen is they'll come in, the thing will get cleaned, and then the doors will open.
Yeah, it's an airlock.
Yeah.
So.
Which I'll explain to the people once they come in.
So the doors open. You can see a 20 foot by 10 foot room with a set of doors on the other side. All metal. There is no Thala in here.
Aren't I? I'm not in there?
You're not in. You're on the other. You went through the airlock. You stepped into the room. You stepped into the room looking for panels.
Yes, I did.
Do you enter?
Yeah, well, there's no scorch marks or anything like that, is there?
There are no scorch marks whatsoever. It looks absolutely pristine, as if no one's ever been here.
So does it look like just a box, or there was other things?
There is a wall on the other side, a door on the other side.
Okay. So yeah, basically she would have gone through the other door. Oh, I'll go in.
Does everyone follow Yodri as Yodri heads on in?
Yeah. Indeed, follow.
Okay, how about Cheval? Does Cheval follow on in?
Yeah, Cheval will follow in.
Considering you had no effect on the outside door until the failed ranger knocked on the door and it opened.
About the time we have a use for the Fire Ranger. That was a big sigh.
As you step in, you see you hear a beeping noise as the door you just stepped through starts to close.
We heard that beeping noise at the start, so possibly Zal knows that that's just an indicator that the door is closing.
Does anyone wish to escape while you can?
Can we put something in the door to stop it closing?
What would you like to put in the door?
Well,
You'd like to put Zal in the doorway, would you?
I would hope Zal would stop in me, but I'm not there, so I should be quiet now.
So, while you're discussing what to put in the doorway keeps closing.
Are you saying that it closed really fast the first time, but now it's closing slower?
Well, someone was flying and it said it was about a minute of flight.
Teasing, just teasing.
And what was Josh saying he was putting something in there?
I was asking why we tried to put something in the door.
Because Imni had suggested it.
and I said, Cheval,
Why am I being put in the door?
because you're the paladin.
Yeah, I'm not stopping this door.
But once the Paladin and the Felled Ranger agreed.
And while you're discussing it, you see the door slide into the floor and then start hearing a hissing noise around you as the air starts moving.
Okay.
This goes on for about a minute, and then the other doors start to open with a red flashing light. Then you see, after the doors fully open, that there is Tharlo on the other side of the door.
Hello! I see you've been through the cleaning cycle.
I didn't get wet.
Well, I smelt some sort of chemicals when I was in there, so I presumed that it was cleaning me in some way.
Okay. See if I can actually see what's happening. There we go.
Okay.
That's what you see in the center of the room. Seems to go down a long way.
It looks like oddly familiar to that circular elevator. There wasn't really an elevator. Turntable.
Could be. Could be many things.
You spin me right round, baby, right round.
I remember that song.
Does that mean the paladin jumps in?
Certainly.
The paladin will just spin on the spot.
Investigate the area. See what we can see. Is Pilfering reacting to this environment at all?
He is not.
Okay.
He's still asleep in the back of Yodri's pack.
And let me guess, there's no dust in here whatsoever.
No dust at all. And inside that shaft you see what appear to be handrails 8 feet apart going down.
Okay.
8 feet apart.
Yes.
So whoever was in this were huge.
Is this the time to turn into the giant octopus?
It depends. You want to go down a shaft or not?
Well, I got 8 legs and 4 other party members. So technically I could take them with me. Right?
Possibly, except you have to hold your breath the whole time.
As long as...
Why do you have to hold your breath?
If she is a squid, she's not underwater.
Yeah. I would suggest maybe climbing equipment if we want to go down. Would probably work just as well. I gather, Zal, you didn't bring a griffin in with you.
Zal did not. There is no griffin inside.
Cool. Does it look like we could make our way down?
You could.
And is there anywhere else?
There are passageways going north, east, and west from where you are.
Okay.
And that one going down.
And are there anything to tell us about the room that we're in? Is there any buttons or?
There are no buttons.
Signs.
There are no signs here at all either.
Well, do you guys want to go down passages or go down the shaft?
Which is quicker?
Going down's quicker.
Probably. You said the rails are 8 feet apart.
Yes.
Are they like ladder rails?
Well, you don't really know any ladder that has 8 feet apart, right?
Okay, so can we see if there's other floors?
Well, you're looking down. It seems to go down a long way.
It's just like a direct sort of cylinder, kind of like an elevator, but with no elevator in it.
Looks very much like an elevator with no elevator.
Well, I'd say there's no harm in looking in the side corridors first. Maybe wake Pilfering and see if he reacts to the environment at all.
True. I'll wake up Pilfering.
Mm-hmm.
I'll also remove a copper and drop it down the shaft and listen how long it takes before it hits something.
Okay. So you drop a copper down the shaft. It takes quite a while to hit the bottom.
More than a minute.
Well, you think it's... Okay, trying to get a sense of scale. So you think it's probably at least 200-300 feet down.
Okay, that's doable.
Does your gnome companion?
Not with him.
Oh, not with us? Okay, cool. Go and have a look around.
Well, I got a safe method of getting down there.
You don't want to look at the side passages first?
I'm just saying that I've got a safe method. Getting back up will be a problem.
Yeah.
Well, getting back up will be slow.
If no one objects, I'm gonna move off to the closest passage and have a look.
Okay. Which way do you think is closest? North, east, or west?
Let's say I start north and I'll work my way over to the east and the west one eventually.
Okay, looking to the north, it's fairly dark along here. No actual light.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the door behind the airlock seems to be fully open, there's no lights in here either. Once it was opening fully, the lights were flashing, and then they stopped.
Yeah. I'll have a look at.
And you can see what appeared to be 2 doors either side of the passageway going north.
And I'll have a look at the next one along.
Okay, looking to the east, you see another passageway here unlit. The doors here, there's also doors along this passageway.
Yep, same sort of configuration.
Different sort of configuration.
But 2 doors, or just doors.
Doors.
Yeah. So that was west.
That was west.
And then
Sorry, that was east.
East. And then if I have a look down the west, am I seeing something similar?
So looking down the west, at the passageway corner, there's a pile of rags and bones, and some sort of husk lies on top of the floor here.
Can I recognize what kind of being it was?
Give me an Arcana roll.
14. I've got the 4/5 under skills, so 18 or 19? Not sure which number.
Because it's intelligence, we'd probably say it's the 4.
It says wisdom. Oh, I see. Yep. Okay, 4. So,
and
18.
then you add 4 for your proficiency.
It's 22.
Okay, so looking at it, it seems looks like it might have been a humanoid of some sort, and has what appears to be a violet rectangular piece of glass.
Pick it up.
Okay, as you bend down to pick it up, I believe something drops on the ceiling on you.
I don't get surprised. Because I have prophetic instincts.
Okay, so give me a dexterity saving throw.
16 plus. I don't have dexterity written here, so that would be
Just your dexterity
just
bonus.
+1, so 17.
Okay, you manage to roll out of the way while a piece of the roof tries to fall on top of you.
Is it an actual piece of roof?
Hard to tell in this light. It's mostly darkness.
Can I cast Dancing Lights?
Okay, well I'll be asking people to roll initiative.
Okay. We're rolling initiative. It's very quiet online.
It is very
It's
quiet.
almost like there's no one there.
We're here. I'm sorry. I'm just falling asleep in my chair.
Now we're just seeing you bouncing around in the doors and then something's attacked you.
Cool. Chauvel will continue to have a snooze.
So how did Chauvel roll?
4.
How did Zal roll?
Oh, I'm in wisdom mode, aren't I? Okay.
Did Zal roll?
Zal's not in the ring.
Okay, that'd be why we don't hear Zal. How did Zal roll?
I got 19, and I always forget what to add when it's initiative. +6, so
That'd be 25.
25.
What did Yodri get?
28.
28.
Would have been 29 if I was in charisma mode.
And how about Imni? How did Imni go?
Does my initiative go up when I get up to Level 10?
Not unless you got something specifically associated with your initiative. For most people, it doesn't increase.
That'll be what, sorry?
Yeah, for most people, it doesn't increase. It's normally just your dexterity modifier.
Oh, my dex modifier. Okay. It's my dex modifier is +3, but my initiative is +2. Does that mean it was -1 before?
Shouldn't have been -1. Not sure why it was. Normally, it's your dexterity that determines your initiative.
Are you wearing any armor?
Not that I know of. Let's see. Longbow, unarmed strike. No.
No.
So like if you're wearing plate, doesn't that lower your initiative?
She's a ranger, so she wouldn't be wearing anything.
No, I'm not wearing armor.
Yeah, I think that you might have been just a miscalculation. Either that or was it?
If you're doing D&D Beyond,
Have boots?
if you're using D&D Beyond, you may be using different rules than 5th edition.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you might have encumbrance listed, so that will also take your initiative down as well.
Oh, okay.
D&D Beyond actually incorporates the new 1D&D rules, which haven't been released yet. Okay, so consider it +3 at this stage.
Okay. +3. Okay. All that.
And Zal can roll initiative as well.
Okay, I got a 18 all up.
And how did Zal do?
I was very much not paying attention. I was probably looking around the room in awe. I got a massive 5.
You beat Chevelle though. Okay, so
Oh, you don't have any deck.
Yodri is up first. What does Yodri do?
So
Something vague is happening off to the right.
so what's happening to Thea?
Fella. I dodged out of the way of something. So you've just got me going, holy conniption! Something's going to attack me. It's kind of really all you get.
Something's attacking me in the darkness.
Yeah. Or more effectively, look out!
Okay. How far away is Thea?
Fella. Sorry.
Thea is probably quite a few miles away at the moment, but Thala's about 10 to 20 feet away from you. Hard to tell because it is dark.
I've got dark vision, 120 feet.
In which case, she is about 20 feet from you.
Oh, your hands.
Okay, I'll move up to her and try to see what's attacking. Or did she just get scared by something falling down?
We rolled initiative. Unlikely. But I get what you mean.
Give me a investigation check.
It had to be investigation. One of my worst skills. Deception is better. Oh well.
I have it written in front of me. And the skill to use, not the one you're bad at.
Yeah.
Why don't you keep note of that?
Can I use my passive investigation?
No.
I'm just saying that
I got a 7.
Okay, you don't know what she's on about.
Okay. I'll draw out.
Yes, there's a there's just a pile of rags here and a strange bit of glass sticking out of it.
Yeah. So I'll draw out my lightsaber, my rapier, to light the way. Since she's complaining that she can't see, which is really strange because she's an elf. But hey,
is it a bonus action to draw that stuff and activate it?
That's a point.
it's always activated.
What was that?
I believe with the moon touch rapier.
Okay, so and it's a bonus action to draw it.
I use my bonus action to draw it out.
Okay.
I was asking, should I have rolled investigation as well because of my dark vision, or?
No, you weren't looking the right way.
Okay.
Even unless you're looking for it, you're looking at something else.
Okay. No, that's fine. Do you feel like having a lemon curd twist with it?
Sure.
Spoon?
Okay, so you see the light start up in that side of the room as it's now Tharla's go.
I don't think I've got a glowy weapon.
Well, the room's now lit up around you.
Can I see what fell?
You mean investigation roll?
Should have just rolled it. 8.
Plus 8, 16.
Is it 8?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So 16 then.
16. Looking around, you can't see whatever it is that fell on you.
I will.
Maybe it was your imagination.
Can I produce my flaming sword, even though it's probably going to be just as ineffective as ever?
Not this round, as you'll spend a action investigating.
Okay. I don't get a bonus action?
You get a bonus action, but you can't cast a spell as a bonus action as far as I know. If it says one action to cast a spell, then it's not a bonus action.
Okay. What could I do as a bonus action? Could I...
Become a sorcerer, then you can use points to make it cast as a bonus action.
Yeah, I thought I was allowed to, but I do get confused. And it's one bonus action.
It's one bonus action, then
Yeah,
you can
for
cast
Flame
it.
Blade.
Then you
Yep.
can cast it as a bonus action.
Yeah, because I've cast it before. So I'll get my flame blade going.
So you have a flaming blade in your hand.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got a blue and a red light source.
I can use the action to make a melee attack, spell attack with the fiery blade. So does that mean I can attack as well? It's the middle one in the column, left column.
You can use your action which you use to search.
Ah, okay, so I can just draw it at this stage.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the only thing you could technically attack at this stage is Shodri.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I've got a weapon out.
And what does Imni do?
Well,
Let's also remember the scene in the room where we killed what we thought could have been the good guys. So we may not want to murder this thing before we determine what it is.
I think it might be just your imagination.
I'm sure you can murder her imagination as much as you like.
You
Hey, shoot the darkness.
For that.
well,
You've gone from darkness to light as two blades light up. One with a blue light of moonlight, and one with the fiery yellow blade.
and what do we see?
A halfling holding a glowing sword, and an elf towering above him holding a flaming sword over a pile of bones.
Yep. So you basically got Jedi and Sith.
Sorry,
You have a halfling with a glowing sword standing.
Oh no, I heard that. I heard that. I said something after that.
Shodri.
It's dropping the side, unfortunately.
Well, I'll just look at that, just look up, really don't see anything else.
You don't see anything else moving at this stage.
She doesn't have to do an investigate.
She doesn't know where to look.
And then torch that.
Are you pulling out a torch? I could not understand, it was breaking up.
She's adding more light.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out a torch. Yeah, I'm gonna light an ordinary torch.
Yes, Sue was breaking up. So she pulls out an ordinary torch and lights it?
That's it.
Okay. That's what you've done.
And what am I seeing? Anything?
You can see that you're still in the same large square room with the hole in the center, with the inner room, and Yodri and Thala at the far side above the pile of bones. The light you've just lit up doesn't illuminate anything new that you didn't see previously.
Can she also move closer?
She can move closer. Did you want to move closer to them as well?
Yep.
Okay.
I will.
So you're standing over the bones as well. Okay, so the third person who came up to that area gets to make a dexterity saving throw as the ground tries to swallow you.
That'll be you.
That would be Sue with Imni.
How far away is Sue from Cheval?
20 feet.
Damn.
Too far?
Yeah, twice the distance. I can't use my, I think it's Aura of Protection. Yeah.
So Sue, you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
She was breaking up, she made
Okay.
Oh, no, there you go.
I will try dexterity saving.
Dice.
I'm sorry, Martin, I need to get to bed.
Okay, you go rest, Josh.
Yeah. What's my session best?
Okay. 17 all up.
Okay, you roll out of the way as part of the floor tries to wrap itself around you.
Oh, this is interesting.
Then, Zal, you're up.
Fun.
What does Zal do seeing the floor try to swallow Imni?
Helen got scared off from the floor mini.
Yeah.
What do I do? That is a really good question.
You can ponder the meaning of life.
I could ponder the meaning of life.
I guess maybe move closer and see if you can identify it.
What was the roll?
Investigation.
I best roll, but
I think you need to get like a 16 or a 17 or higher to see it.
well, I got a 19 on the dice. Plus 4, 23.
Not so failed a ranger.
Okay, so as you close in, you see a square moving around on the floor that looks exactly the same as the floor, going slightly up the wall. Same color as everything.
So it's a very well camouflaged creature. But
you've identified it. Took a little bit. And you can point.
We don't know what it is. It's like.
Not a clue. It's about the size of a horse. So a large-sized creature.
Oh, okay. I guess I use my act to tell people what it is.
Point in the direction. Shoot the wall.
Yes.
Yodri.
It's a large invisible creature climbing the wall, and I point in the direction and try and.
Looks more like it's a camouflage creature, the same color as the wall. But invisible and camouflage are similar things.
Invisible, same difference.
Yodri, you're up.
Okay.
How do you deal with this invisible creature as described?
How far away did they point it out?
The wall right next to you.
So if I close my eyes and use my familiar, which has blind fighting, can I target it?
Are you familiar, can?
Yeah, but I can see through the familiar's eyes. So I'll should be able to locate the creature.
You should be able to locate it, but that doesn't give you the ability to blind fight.
Dark will probably just state where it is. That's about it.
That's correct.
Actually, what actions? Tentacles of the deep.
So you're going to have some tentacles shoot up out of water and grab it?
Yeah, I just need to see if they can just attack it, or is it anything in that area gets attacked. It looks like I still need to see the damn creature.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks. Okay, so... Yep, I'm going to try to see if I can locate the damn thing. So that's another investigation, is it?
That is another investigation.
That's a 9.
This invisible creature is very difficult for you to spot. You're looking directly where... You're looking in the area where Zal was pointing and you can't see it. Thala.
Speak with animals will work. Is that right?
It would have to be a beast for you to speak with it.
Okay, so a beast is different from a monster?
It is. There are things called monstrosities, aberrations, constructs.
So not worth trying to talk with?
Not unless you know it's a beast.
I could only determine that by trying to talk to it?
You can.
Is that an action or a bonus action?
How long does the... what's the casting time of the spell?
Speak with animals. It's one action, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that would be my action.
That would be your action, yes. You cast that and start trying to speak to it. What do you say to it?
We mean you no harm.
Okay. You come in peace.
Yeah, kind of.
And then we move on to shoot to kill.
Take it to your leader.
So Thala's had her go. It's now Imni's go.
So I don't get a response?
Not until its turn.
Okay.
If it does respond.
So does everybody see this creature?
Zal has pointed at a piece of the wall and says there's an invisible creature there.
Okay.
But it's moving.
What's this? It's moving. So what does it look like?
Well, when it's invisible, you can't really see it.
So what was
No. Well, how does Zal know it was there then?
Zal did not tell you.
Well, she didn't tell us it was there and it was visible.
She pointed and said an invisible creature's there.
Well, I will ask Zal, what does it look like?
Okay. While you're asking that, sorry, I roll my d4. Where's my d4?
Another D4.
There it is. Okay, so apparently it's attacking Imni again. So Imni gets to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, another one. Okay.
Yay. Keeping
16. 16 all up.
So as you turn to Zal to say, what does it look like? A bit of the wall tries to wrap you up in it and you roll out of the way.
Oh god.
And then it moves over to Zal's turn.
Sorry, I missed what it did to Imni.
It jumped at her and tried to wrap her up, but Imni dived out of the way just in time.
It's as if the wall tried to wrap up Imni.
Huh.
And then, but then basically became flat again.
So did it land on the floor, or we don't know?
It came out of off the wall, tried to wrap Imni up, and then went back to the wall.
Oh, back to the wall. Okay. It's a very dexterous creature. You can take him all bit.
So how would Zal like to solve this problem?
Fireball!
Unfortunately, that's with Chauvel, who's now staring at bewilderment at everyone being attacked by the wall.
I do have fireballs.
So are you going to shoot the darkness, shoot the wall?
This is going to completely contradict my "we mean no harm" message, but
Did I understand what she said? Like,
Quite possibly, but it seemed to try to attack someone after she said that.
Yeah, we come in peace, shoot to kill, shoot to kill.
yeah. Start trekking across the universe.
You don't know? You're
I
gonna.
could throw Bane on it. So if it tries to attack again, it gets minuses to its roll.
That doesn't sound like
just-
a bad.
Just so you know, it's been making other people do saving throws. It's not been rolling. So from that perspective, as a player, Bane will have no effect on it.
Oh, yeah. So I take it back, don't listen to me.
So it's not rolling like attack roll to hit people?
No, it's been doing saving throws for people to avoid being hit by it.
Okay.
Which does make Bane a lot harder to apply to it.
With not having my spell book completely outdated is really odd. My abilities were attacking abilities.
Well,
attacking spells.
Find a 3rd level wizard spell and add it to your list.
That is my list.
See invisible!
See invisible.
Spells. 3rd level. What sounds good?
Though, also, to put it in context, right now, See Invisible will give you no bonuses. Because everyone can see the creature. You've just described it as invisible.
I wonder if the spell magic would work. I could also
You're thinking of getting fireball?
It's just funny because it was mentioned that the paladin only had that.
You could always take lightning bolt in response, and then you can be thunder and lightning.
Very, very frightening.
And it can be thunderstruck. Does that appeal?
Oh, that appeals.
Okay.
Well, let's have a look at the spell description for that.
Lightning bolt.
Lightning bolts. Where's L? Lightning bolts.
L generally
What's the
becomes before M.
Action. Self. 100 foot of line. Struck lightning forming a line 100 feet long and 5 feet wide. Plus, from you in a direction you. Each creature that must make a dexterity saving throw. Creatures take 86 of lightning damage on a failed save. I need to find d6s.
So I believe it's dexterity saving throw of a 16 is considered a save.
It probably would be, because it would be about against my spell DC.
Which would be 8 plus 4 plus most likely 4 again for your intelligence, which means 16 is the lucky number.
Sounds. And yes, it is.
Would help if I actually showed the dice I was rolling. Should look at my cameras more often. So what you do is you roll 8d6 and then it's half of that.
Fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get rid of the dice out of dice tray, so they don't clash. Listen to that sound. First time I've had dice to roll. In a long time.
Just so you know, you can actually use lightning bolts to carve a 100 feet by 10 foot wide strip through vegetation.
Now that's one way to mow the lawn.
Yeah. It's might set a fire if it's right.
Well, it's set the entire section alight as it does it.
Did you say one of the cameras wasn't working?
The camera for the dice was not pointing at the dice.
Oh, yes, because you had been moving it around. Yep.
So how much damage did you do, Em?
So half is 11.
So 11. Okay. So yes, you hit it and you see the wall shimmer a little bit as you hit it. Yodri. You saw her shoot the wall with her lightning.
Has the animal
Can we target the shimmer?
to my message yet?
It has not.
It hasn't had a turn?
It has had a turn, but it didn't respond.
Didn't respond.
It tried to attack someone.
Okay, I just wanted to.
So Yodri, what does Yodri do? You still can't see the invisible creature.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to cast Armor of Agathes.
Which does?
A protective magical force surrounds you, manifesting a spectral frost and covers you and your gear. I get 10 temporary hit points, and if creature attacks me, they take 10 points of cold damage.
Okay, so Thala, while Yodri's chilled out,
I take it.
you've got your flame.
That lasts an hour.
I take it that moonbeam wouldn't work inside a spaceship.
If it has to come from above, or if it doesn't have the area to go
It says a silvery beam of pale light shines down, centered on a point within range until the spell ends. Dim light fills the cylinder. When a creature enters the spell area for the first time, it is engulfed in a ghostly flames that cause searing pain.
Can a moon-touched rapier be classed as part of the moon?
Not particularly part of the moon. So it wants to do a 5-foot cylinder that is 40 feet high. The corridors aren't 40 feet high, so you might not be able to get the spell off in a smaller space.
Okay, yep, that's why I was asking whether or not it would work. Because I thought that might be more effective than my flame blade.
But you got your flame blade out now.
Yeah.
You could always go for the wall.
Alright, so I will do that. So it's 3d6 fire damage, but I need to roll a d20 to see if I hit first.
You do. Adding 8 to the roll.
13 plus 8 is 21.
21. Okay, then you roll 3d6.
Was it 3d6? Yeah, 3d6. 1, 1 and 2, so 4.
So you hit the wall for what appears to be 4 damage.
Yeah, I presume it doesn't even flinch.
Okay.
I really need to see if I can exchange out these flame blades for something different, because they don't do me very good.
Okay, so it is now Imni's go. What does Imni do? You've seen Zal and Thala both attack the wall. What does Imni do?
Attack the wall too. Peer pressure.
And this wall's tried to swallow you a few times.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack it too.
We all attack the wall. Give me an attack roll.
Peer pressure is real, guys.
What?
I was making a joke that you're attacking it because everybody else is, and that peer pressure is the reason why you're doing it, because everyone else is doing it, you're doing it. You know, to fit in.
Well, maybe I am. Who knows?
Imni's a joiner.
It's a survival instinct.
It's a good survival instinct.
Okay, 15 plus 5 is 20.
So that is a hit.
Okay.
Nicely done.
Well, I didn't use my longbow. Actually I did. So it's 1d8 and it's plus 7, so it was actually plus 2 more. And it's 1d8 plus 2 piercing. So a d8. I rolled a 1. So 1 plus 2 is 3.
Same here. I feel for you.
It's, you know, death by 1,000 cuts is one of those old sayings.
I think it just might be.
Okay, so it's got a clear target this time and tries to swallow Zal. So Zal gets to make a dexterity saving throw as the wall tries to smother Zal.
Yay. Just love getting smothered. Ugh.
I'm sure it's just a way of saying it loves you.
Oh.
It's very needy.
Let me call you George.
11?
Okay, apparently you are called George.
Nah.
And apparently it is smothering you in a big way as you take 20 points of bludgeoning damage.
20?
Yep.
Ow!
And,
yeah, that's most of my hit points.
And 4 points of acid damage.
Oh, come on.
It's obviously some sort of creature that we think looks like a wall.
And you
Pretending to be a wall.
can see something rubbery surrounding Zal at this stage. As it's now surrounding someone, it's now in the middle of the room, so you can attack the creature while it's smothering Zal.
Yeah.
As it is now Zal's turn. What does Zal wish to do as you're currently being grappled?
Well, I don't have... I probably can't ungrapple myself, can I?
You can attempt a acrobatics check to slide out from its grasp.
That is really not going to work. I have +2 to acrobatics.
How about an athletics check to force it yourself out of its grasp?
That's even worse. That's +1. I'm wondering if I can forcefully get it to come off me by inflict wounds. I'll stop.
Okay, that may be hard to cast while you're being grappled.
Oh, is it?
Is it? Does it have a semantic component?
It's... Oh, good question. It says touch attack. Let me just double check. I haven't written any semantics on it, so...
Okay, inflict wounds. Inflict wounds, vocal and somatic. Currently you are being smothered. You cannot get the semantic component off.
Huh, what's not right that on my thing? Let me fix it up. Inflict wounds is vocal and semantic.
So you are considered restrained, blinded, and at risk of suffocation.
Great. So what? I can't cast anything basically while I'm being smothered.
If you can cast something that does vocal, you could potentially get it off.
Okay.
But you wouldn't be able to get anything with semantic or material because you can't quite move when you're restrained.
Yep. I'm just trying to see if I have anything at a quick glance that is not both V and S, and most of them are V and S. I do not have anything on a visual inspection that is not vigorous. I guess my only choice is to try and
wiggle a little bit. Give me an acrobatics wiggle.
That's not a bad roll. That is a non-20.
Non-natural 20 is a very good roll.
I rolled an 18 on the dice.
Zal pops out of the rubbery creature, and then the rubbery creature seems to fall into the floor, and you lose sight of it again.
Great.
Yodri.
Okay.
You've actually seen the creature for the first time, and you realise it's not an invisible creature.
Yep.
It's a chameleon.
Yep. Okay. So I was just reading up my tentacles.
Yep.
And I use some of them, and they attack as a bonus action. So I'm going to Eldritch Blast the area that it was at.
Yep.
And I'm going to summon a tentacle in that area. Is a bonus action.
As a bonus action?
Yeah.
2 spells in a round.
The other one's an ability.
Yeah. I think in 5th edition, Eldritch Blast is a cantrip.
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
And the other one's an ability?
Yeah.
Spell-like ability?
Where is it? Tentacle of Deep Summon. Bonus action, you create a 10-foot long tentacle at a point that you can see within 60 feet. Tentacle lasts a minute or until you cast it, until you use this feature again. When you create a tentacle, you may make a spell attack against one creature within 10 feet of it.
Okay, so you do it at Eldritch Blast and then summon that thing.
Yep.
So give me an attack with your Eldritch Blast.
Okay, 2 attacks coming up.
Yep.
As a bonus action, am I able to put on some free use healing word on myself?
It's a bonus action?
It is a bonus action.
You should be able to, yes. What level do you cast it at?
I will just cast that at level 1. Just at least give myself some hit points back. Actually, I'm gonna cast up to 5th level, can't I? How many 5th levels do I have? 2. Given that I just took most of my health damage.
You might want to get the extra thing, so while we're having the thing rolled, you can do your healing word. So how did you go with your attack roll, Ross?
The first one is a 25, or first bolt's a 25, and the second is a 14.
They both hit.
Oh, okay. First one does 10 points of damage. Second one does 10 points of damage.
Consistent.
Yeah, aren't you lucky I don't have the feat that allows me to have my charisma bonus to it?
So how much does Zal heal?
So I cast it at 5th. Actually, I probably don't need to cast it at 5th, but that's fine. What's my spellcasting ability modifier? That's just the proficiency modifier, or is that?
No, that's the intelligence mod. Or the whiz mod for heal.
Yeah. Okay. So it'll be plus 4. I heal 19.
You heal 19, so that means only 5 damage. Not so bad.
Yeah. And that was all force damage.
And Thala.
I'd like to try and cast Reduce. Do you want to see the write-up?
Just gonna look at it
Pull
here.
it up there. If I cast it at 4th level, I can reduce it from large to small, I
So you
think.
go to enlarge.
Got to pull it off, of course.
So it gets a Constitution saving throw. Yes, you can cast it,
So roll a d20.
but it will take out your flame blade.
That's fine.
No, you don't roll the 20. The saving throw is on the other side.
Okay.
So it
That looks pretty high.
got a 19 on its saving
Ow,
throw.
Damn.
Unfortunately, a negate means it has no effect.
Yeah.
But it was a good try. Unfortunately, the dice is not working for you.
Yep. Nope. They do try to kill me.
And it means you can only do a cantrip if you want to do a bonus action as a spell.
So I could do another spell.
You could do a cantrip spell.
What about my... Where is it? Vine Whip.
Should be able to do that.
Yep.
Which I believe is an attack roll.
It is... Vine lasts 1 minute. It's a bonus action. On a hit, the target takes 1d6 force damage. It's not much, but it's something. The only other one I've got is Thorn Whip, but I'm pretty sure that...
Thorn Whip is actually pretty good, because I have those as well.
let's see. It
56.
is a cantrip, actually.
Cantrip.
Thorn Whip. So I could do Thorn Whip.
Just looking at
Yep, you're just looking it up.
Thorn Whip is 2d6 piercing.
It's better than Vine Whip. I just didn't know if it was a cantrip, but it is. So.
It is a cantrip, because I have it as well.
It's not on here.
Okay, so it's bottom and then over to the other column.
Page 282, if you need it.
Not in this book that I've got with me.
I've also got one of the handbooks, so he's using a different book than he normally does.
Page 282, one action, range 30 feet.
He's printed it out for me on my sheet.
You can't do Thorn Whip because you've already done the other spell.
Okay.
Where's the Vine Whip one?
So Vine is the bottom last dot point on that page.
Well, if you do a Vine Whip on it, you can basically grapple it with the vine.
Yeah.
Which will stop it attacking people.
Yes.
So, probably better for you to do that.
Okay. D20?
Yep. So
11.
for her, Vine Whip is a class feature, not a spell.
So that's 11. What gets added to it?
You +4 plus another 4, so +8. So at 19.
19, yep.
So that is a hit. You roll a d6.
Yep.
Well, actually, you roll 2d6.
So that's a 2. And I'll roll it again. And that's a 6, so 8.
8 damage, and it has to make a DC to escape.
Okay.
So it's now grappled.
It's held in place at the moment. Well, that's something.
Okay, so that becomes now down to Imni. You can actually see part of the wall has been grappled by a vine and has become a rubbery-like substance.
Oh, well, okay, I've just been looking at my character sheet, and I'm going to try and get it again. Is it below its maximum hit points?
It is below its maximum hit points.
The creature, is it below its maximum hit points?
It is, it's taken damage.
Okay, because I do an extra d8 damage if it's below its hit point maximum, and I also can do an extra attack.
So you get 2 attacks?
I get 2 attacks. I'm going to do that.
Is bow your character's main weapon?
Sorry?
Is bow your character's main weapon? The longbow
is.
Then it
the longbow.
It should be doing at least an extra 2 dice of damage with each attack.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, attack 13 plus 7 is 20.
So 20 is a nice blow. Is that to hit or damage?
That's to hit.
Okay, that's a hit.
And then I'll try again. I'll do the damage, which is... So you said I should have 3d8?
Yep, should be 3d8. Plus your extra d8 for it being damaged.
Yeah, okay, so it's 4d8. So is it... because it was 1d8 plus 2, so is it each one, or is it just 1d8 plus 2 and then the other 3d8?
So it's 48 plus 2.
Okay.
So it's only 2 added to the lot, not 2 each dice.
Yeah, okay, just 2 at the end. Okay. So 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 6 is 16, plus 5 is 21, plus 2, 23.
23. And the second attack?
That was... Oh yeah, that was just the...
First attack.
Yeah. Hang on. 12 plus 7, 19.
That's also a hit, so you get to roll the same dice.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, roll. So, 8, not as quite as good. 18 plus 2 is 20.
Hey, 20 is still fantastic. But with your second shot, you managed to kill the creature, and it seems to be this just this rubbery-like substance that's now a pile on the floor.
Cool.
So just so you know, it's actually called a trapper, which is a large monstrosity. Trapper.
Oh.
Its entire ability is to suffocate and kill people.
Oh, wow.
So yes, you succeeded in defeating your first encounter inside.
Did
So, if the entire party were playing Warforge, you wouldn't do anything to them.
No, it still crushed them
Oh, okay.
and eat them away. So it did bludgeoning and acid damage on whatever was inside it.
Okay.
wow.
Yeah,
So, a high-tech version of a mimic.
And to end the session, Pilfering finally wakes up, touches a random panel, and the whole ship lights up.
That was something.
Self-destruct mechanism has been activated.
I was gonna say it doesn't blow up.
Yeah.
That would be lighting up a ship. Flame everywhere.
And just see us using Roger and staff. Hi, how are you? Yeah, things are good here. We're in space. We don't know how to get back.
Okay, so you defeated the trapper. We'll finish the session with examining the remains again without being attacked.
Okay. So I finally get the glass rectangular thingy.
I said we can do that next session.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep. No, that's fine. My brain is slow at processing.
So, those bones were actually crushed bones, were they?
They were crushed bones.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also partly burnt from the acid.
Yep.
Which is why there was no flesh.
Yeah. Yep. Wonder how long it had been there for.
Probably quite a while.
Thank you. That was a great session. While I am
Yeah.
thinking of it, just as a backup, I thought it'd be a good idea if you do have your sheet there, Sue, if you can maybe photograph it and send it to Martin as so if it gets missing or if we need it when you're not here during game,
Yep.
we've got access to the stats.
Yep. I've actually saved it and I can email it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would work.
Yeah, that would work really well. Because
Yeah.
on games where you can't attend, occasionally we're allowed to make use of your skills, but we can't do that without your characters.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
just so
yeah.
you know, this is the actual adventure you're starting. Expedition to the Barrier Peaks.
Oh, wow.
To give you some idea, it's not a small book.
Jesus Christ, that's huge.
So it's, you remember the Lost City book? It's the same size as that. So this one.
But we bounced all around that. We missed most of it.
Oh, you did manage to go through a big chunk of it.
Yeah. The only thing that didn't come through on the PDF that I've saved is the actual features and traits. That didn't come through.
Well, hiccups can be fixed. We can look at what we can do to fix that later.
Yeah, that's why I did see them on the sheet that I saved, but then I went back into Beyond 20 and that's, it said look up that in the thing, and so I did, and there they were, so yeah.
All good. So I'm going to say good night to everyone. Hopefully you have a good night and got to enjoy beating something up even though it was scaring you at the time.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
And
It's also
Have a good
way
night.
button, so I won't stay on to say hi, but we'll catch up next weekend.
you sound about as exhausted as I feel.
Yeah.
I've had a very busy week. We've had
Lots
one
of
person
stuff.
away on leave, and the other two ended up sick, so it was just me and my manager this week.
Wow.
So
Yep.
I'm a bit tired as well.
So-
Good night, guys. Thank you.
Say good night.
Okay, good night.
Good night, guys.
Yep.
Night.
Tomorrow's still on?
Yes.
Tomorrow's still on, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll probably be there a little bit after 2, so I have to take your help to get Sean.
Yep.
All good.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Okay.